Alright, so last time you guys finished off your business in the Aria mountain range after taking a very slight detour to aid in Drazenka's personal wishes, linking with her background as well as what she's going to do in the future, as you helped to sanctify a previous shrine towards Shiva. After returning to the village in the mountains, you had another night's rest before going through the rest of the mountains. And thankfully, with the aid of the preparations you had beforehand, as well as magical buffering from Jazenka, you were able to go down the mountain in a relatively smooth process with some rather good driving on Zairen's part. And as you were coming to basically the base of the mountain, while still a bit chilly, you came across a apothecary's hut that Pharaoh had mentioned on the way here. This being the last resting point you'd have before you go to any other settlements away from the mountain range. The Vieran that lives here is a common friend to Pharaoh, and that it's normally a place that she'd stopped with people she guided here. However, from the unease of the chocobos, you had a similar premonition that not all was well. The area was quiet except for the local wildlife, and upon investigating the nearby hut, you saw it was devoid of life, with several of the doors swinging in the breeze. Some blood led towards a trapdoor that led into the underground, which Pharaoh explained as a excavated cave system of sorts, where she was cultivating mushrooms and fungi. Sadly, there are no fungi to be found down here, or any bad guys, in the form of Raldos and some Naga that have been terrorizing the local rivers. And you did mention / remember the two creatures you had faced up on the mountainside of the Murasus that seemingly wanted you to aid somebody called Yoskaik. To your best knowledge, has to do with a serpent creature. And since the waterfall that I've recently created from the most recent storms goes into not exactly a river, but a stream going down that may connect to a river, it could allow the Nagas to make their way through the mountains. As well as those, you found some scorpions and other monsters in the forms of some, well, large for spiders, but they're medium-sized, as well as a large one. However, you were taken aback from the back as a larger Naga scout decided to accost you with its magics. And almost as if it's the fading presence of Shiva's mountainside, Drazenka just barely survived a hazardous attack from the Naga at the back, as most of the brunt force hit into her holy symbol to Shiva, that's her necklace, that is now cracked all over and hitting her to the floor. And made it off last session, just as you guys were recuperating after said fight. So we shall continue from there. Edwin, you are no longer staggered.
Okay, am I still poisoned?
No.
Okay. Next, I was rolling fucking horribly on a fortune says. Alrighty. What was that? That wasn't supposed to. What the hells was that? That's much bigger than any other Naga we've seen before.
It's a big fish.
Zenko, you alright?
Well, we know the Naga has been here for, 4 months at least. Could be a new kind of species to withstand the cold.
I certainly hope not. We're still no closer to finding this herbalist. We may have to make that swim after all. Just double check over. Yeah, okay. Well, does this Naga Scout have a scale at all?
If you look over this Naga Scout, you are not unable to find a scale similar to the others.
Okay. I'm going to use a charge of the curing belt on myself. Everyone else seems topped. But yeah, Edward's just going to ask if we can continue.
It
Sounds
may
good to
be a
me.
bit hidden, but there is another cocoon here.
Another cocoon. Let's try and break it open if we can.
Sure thing. She'll just go and break apart the cocoon.
I'm gonna assume you're meant with your hands.
Yeah.
But we have the daggers as well.
Breaking open the cocoon, you'll see inside of which is a Vieira male who has a pair of rather stylish glasses.
I take it they're quite dead.
Yes.
Okay. I'll check the glasses while we're here if that's alright with everyone. And then we'll move on.
I'll hand them over to Edward.
And I'll help with that check.
Edward?
Edward?
Edwin, damn it.
There's no dogs around here.
Now's the time for it, I guess.
Didn't want me to get your name wrong, I see. I'm going to call you Edward from now on.
Well, you may have some slightly missed heals then. No, I'm joking.
Nah.
You know that those are glasses of magical understanding. That is a weird ass font. It hurts my eyes because it's pink on blue.
Now I feel like my mage talent was my thief talent was not that good.
Yeah, you
Right.
retrain it.
Yeah, if we ever get a chance.
Is this another cocoon over here?
Yes.
I'll poke around on that one.
Drusenko, do you want these or? Sorry, go on.
Opening up that one, you'll find that there is a Hume that is rather gaunt at this point, but he is certainly dead. As far as you can tell, nothing of worth from them, though.
I do not mind either way, but you seem to be better at actually understanding the magic we find.
Understood. Thank you.
I assume we're still in a rush, but I don't see any signs of this person we're supposed to be looking for.
Maybe he got away.
What was the description of the person that we were looking for again?
It is a female Vieira.
We could keep following the river.
I think we may have to do that swim in the end. We'll see what's
There
down
is still the boat.
the boat.
Yes, we did come in with that boat. We circled around to come with the boat.
I'm an idiot. I thought that wall was actually a wall. It wasn't like an overhang. So I take it that allows us to take the boat round that way. Like, does that river continue? Sorry, I thought that was a wall.
Yes, it does. It is an overhang. Well, it's an archway that just connects to the ceiling, so it's just like a doorway with no
Absolutely.
door.
Okay. Yeah, if Drusenko says that, I'll just sort of smack my forehead. Of course. Let's go back to the boat then. Was there anyone used up to, well, sail, to want for a better word?
Aye, aye, Captain.
I think you're the captain if you're steering the boat, or is it helmsman? I can never remember.
We already checked out these two bodies up here.
Yes.
Uh,
Sorry?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yes, you did. I was like, where are you pointing? Because you're down there, but no, you mean up there. No, you've already looked at those.
I think I made a note, but we do need to check the camp when we find this woman. I just don't want to leave the Vieran if they're in
I
trouble.
feel like I had a sun rod on me. But I can't remember if I did activate it or not.
You did. It's been cracked. It's in your belt, but you've been
Just have a portal.
putting your thing back in and out. So there is a sun roll for you to pull in. Yeah, there.
Yeah, because you guys kept fighting over it last time.
Yeah, it's giving it to Zaire, and Zaire keeps taking it, and then vice versa.
You nicked it off me.
Not on purpose. Oh, that's bad.
Wait, roll a perception. What's happening?
I got left in the dark.
Before following the others, Drasenka takes a moment and just takes off her necklace that's cracked all over and gently wraps it in like a piece of cloth, like a handkerchief or something, and puts it in her back before following the others.
Because we don't know that, do we? Because it's not like we'd be able to see that mid-fight.
You were looking at her back, so unless
Yeah.
you looked
No,
over her.
Well, as soon as she comes around, like catches up with you, you can pretty probably obviously see that she doesn't have her necklace on, which is something she never takes off. You've never seen her take it off. Maybe Edwin's the only one who's seen her without it because he knew her before she got it.
If we clock that, I'm not going to say anything for now, because it seems like you've had.
It's up to you.
Not for now. I think this isn't the scenario. Or the place. At least for Edwin.
I was rolling that perception check because everybody left me in the dark, but then the GM moved me, so.
God went, no. We don't do that here. Put you over there.
I mean, if he would
If
have, then Drasenka would have guided him in the darkness. The others.
Follow the sound of my voice.
It then echoes, and there's 2 ways to go.
We're going eastward, westward, sorry. Yeah. I see it something. What was that blue thing?
Blue. Maybe it's a passport.
As we're a bit closer, can I detect magic on it? Is it like a trap or something like that?
You can certainly detect magic, and you can see that there is
Like gloves
a
to me.
pair of gloves that have one of those hooks you can put through the cuff so that they're linked together, bobbing in the water, and the water around them is especially frozen over, making a very small iceberg. I don't know what you would call that outside of that word, and they are indeed magical.
So to look like manacles, or... are they
No,
just, like,
it's
hooked
just
together?
gloves. They just have a hook, so you can put them together and not
Oh, I
lose
thought
them.
you meant, like... Okay, never mind. I'll just point it out to the party and say... It may be worth picking those up on the way past.
I'm steering this boat.
Sure, pick him up as we go past.
Who's going to pick up the gloves?
Cannot say Drasenka because she's probably closest if she's on that side of the boat.
And she is our ice person.
Picking the gloves out of the water, sleet and slush will fall off of it back into the water, at which point the gloves are almost freezing to the touch. That could be a combination of their magics as well as being moistened by the waters around you.
Arms and legs inside the boat, everybody. It looks like we got some obstacles on the walls ahead.
I'll tuck my arms in and offer to identify that with Drajenka if she wants it.
Yeah, she'll like shift around to let Edwin see them, then aid him.
Come on,
So you
now.
don't need it.
Oh, man.
Those spellcrafts, you just really don't want to not find out what these things are.
I need to level up fucking black mage at this rate. Let's get out.
You get the
no
+2 in
range.
there.
To be fair, I did fumble like 4 times last session. I'm due this. I'm owed this.
And very fitting, and possibly the cause of such a cold stream. You know that those are freeze gloves.
Is that on anyone's list? I'm assuming Drazenko.
You think I still remember my own list?
Some people haven't updated their lists. There's still items on the list that they already have.
They are on my list.
I wasn't aware we were supposed to be taking them off.
Yeah, I was just having them on there for the amount that we were doing so far. That's what I was saying we could update it. I could do. We'll do it on the break.
Unless someone wants to argue with me on this, I'm happy to take them.
Absolutely not. You're the ice person. So we find out Al really, really wants them, and there's a massive fist fight on the boat over gloves.
No.
The branches on the side of the wall click and clack against the side of the boat, but thankfully aren't too strong or vicious that they impede your rowing. Though again, it's not really rowing, you're like pushing the floor and the wall with the oar. I do not know the boatman term for that.
Shoving off.
What you do in your own time.
Well, the shove off is when you go away from, like, after you've beached yourself. Like, you're doing this continually.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of another term, but that's the only one I can think of that works at all.
It's the stuff that they do in canals, isn't it? But God knows what the name is off the top of my head.
Poling?
We'll call it that.
As the boat comes around to here, everyone can roll perception.
Obviously, yeah, they get the -2, I'm assuming. Or the +2, sorry, because we're inside.
Alright, as you come around to this point, Al will probably easily tell this against everyone else. Probably with your hand in there, you can probably feel it, maybe. As you look around, you will notice that the waters are a lot more fluid than before, rather than the slush that they were when you first came here on the footpath. Almost as if it's thawing out.
Seems to be warming up around here. Look at the water.
Ed will look at it as well. That is odd. Why? It might be worth us getting off and having a look. Maybe they're around here somewhere.
Well, this is where we originally lost the track.
Then where is she? Is she in that hut?
Edwin, your detect magic should still be up, as you can see that there are 3 magical auras behind this section of wall.
I will point at the wall. I'll try and I'll whistle. I'm not going to whistle down mic because I know what it sounds like, but
Yes, please don't.
I'll whistle and point my finger at that wall, and sort of, yeah, I'll probably draw a sword and just whisper as best I can.
You whistle and then you whisper.
Yeah, because they don't know if we're pointing that way.
Fair enough.
I think there's something through there. It doesn't look real. Or if it is real, it's thin enough I can see through it, and there's magical auras through it.
I'll check it out. And
Ramming
just gonna
speed?
start mounting the wall and climbing around. I'm just gonna start bashing the wall.
Do you have a climb speed?
Yes, yes I do.
I think I've asked this before so many times. Yeah, sure, why not? As you climb around to there, Al, you can roll perception.
I'm just gonna row the boat into the wall. And I said ramming speed, but I don't think I can get that this boat to go very fast
Um,
in about 10 feet.
Prodding speed.
Is ramming speed an actual
As a boat action,
measurement
yes.
of speed? Like, do you have to go X meters per second or whatever?
No, you just get as much momentum and speed as you can and hope that your strongest part of your boat is against whatever you're trying to hit.
I'm gonna say, even with the highest drive you're gonna have, there's like 15 feet of distance at most, and you can't oar properly. There's not a lot of speed behind the drive.
Right, like I
And
said, I'm probably just going to drift up against the wall.
And as you like go speeding by comparative to your previous speed, you just hit the wall and it goes boom. You just like slowly go backwards.
I would just sort of look at them and go, "What are you doing? Did you say you could
whereas-
drive?"
Ow. You can see the tiniest horizontal line at the top of this wall, almost as if it's not connected to the ceiling. And around the bottom, you can see the water going underneath the wall. And both the top and the bottom are clear cuts, as if it was man-made.
This wall is definitely not meant to be here. Or at least it wasn't formed naturally. Water looks like it can go underneath, so we may be able to go underneath it.
I'll bring the boat up alongside the wall, right next to it, so that these other two can get a better look at what's going on.
I was going to dive into the water.
I was just about to say we should be really careful about this, and then I see Owl just go head first into the water.
Roll me swim.
Now I roll low. What the fuck?
Alright, that is enough.
Fair enough.
Owl goes under the water as you bring the sun rod with you. I was just about to move it because you can't move it through the wall.
Thank you.
As you find yourself a very small alcove, as the water hits across a rocky platform, atop which there is a unconscious and a freezing Vieira.
Can I grab her and swim back under? I imagine that's probably a much harder check.
Did you say she's conscious? So you just turn up, grab her,
No,
and turn her out?
unconscious.
Unconscious.
Oh, okay.
It would be a harder swim check, yes.
Oh, she'll
I guess
attempt
we
it,
just sort of
'cause she's not much of a
hammer.
healer.
Can you see if you can open this wall from that side?
Yes, Owl, is there any... What's happening over there?
Can I hear them?
Yes, if you can hear them if they're speaking on the other side.
Oh. I found the girl! I'm coming back under. Doesn't...
Can you open the wall from that side?
Can I open the wall from this side?
As far as you can tell, there's no way to open this wall. However, this side is completely clean as well. And it's connected with the sides of the wall, almost as if it came out of them.
I don't think so. Looks magical. I mean, it looks like it came out of the wall. I'm gonna swim under.
If you think you can, good. We're going to have to look after her.
Fuck's sake.
That's not bad, though, for swim.
Yeah.
It's that
I
kind
guess.
of...
The DC for going under was 5. With her was additional 5, so you exactly got what you needed.
Yeah,
Nice.
let's go. Okay, swim under the wall with her.
With the Vieira in tow, you're able to swim back underneath and bring her with you.
I'll try and okay, yeah, bring her body up to the side.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you could... Owl, can you lay
Edwin?
her on the side?
Come and check her out. She's unconscious.
Thank you. I'm assuming Zyra's going to bring the boat over there, so I'll jump off and try and help. Can I assess her condition? I know healing is always good, but is there anything else wrong with her?
Freezing and unconscious.
Jurassic is
You
also
can still
gonna
use a
first
check.
off magical hygiene to dry her off. Not gonna help with the clothes, but at least she herself, and then one casting of Endure Elements.
I was gonna say I can't do anything about the actual temperature. Sorry, no, Baz, what did you ask?
You can roll a heal check. Okay, as you look over the Vieira, you know that they are suffering from hypothermia, though they have used magic as well as items to try and stabilize themselves. However, they are unconscious and are going to need some time to recuperate, possibly in warmer climates.
Can I perform surgery here, but then as I'm doing it, effectively pulling out like gauze and heat pads and whatever I've got in my backpack? Because we have those stones, don't we? The heat stones that we bought. One for
The
each of
camp
us.
stones or whatever they were?
Yeah, those.
Yeah, I think so.
I was just gonna say, once we get her upstairs, we might want to use these, not directly on her, but around her, bring her up to temperature, and I'll do the thing.
Should I dig the boat back at where we got it from?
I think we can go into the house quicker from here, Zyra, and if you could just moor it, that would be ideal.
Yeah, I could just push it back around to the other side with the oars and dock it back at that dock that we saw.
Thank you. Just be careful, we don't know what else is down here. Al, can you help me with her, or Drazenka, please? I don't think I can lift her on my own.
I can go with Seren with the boat, so he doesn't have to go alone.
Thank you. Al, please.
What was it you needed help with?
Lifting her, because I probably can't do it on my own, realistically.
I will try not to. I'm assuming, is it going to be a CMB or a strength?
If you're both doing it, I'm not going to need you to roll a check.
No, it's because I can't, yeah. I'll help, I just can't do it on my own. We just want to move her upstairs.
Yep, I'll help.
And I'll just take the time to push the boat on back through, although it's pretty dark down here, and I don't think either one of us has light source on us.
I was gonna say, like, do you have your iron torch, or can we have one from the others?
I could either hand it over unless one of you's already got it, because I had it circling my head, so I'll give it to you, Zarin, if you want.
I mean, I can just chuck on my sun rod.
It's true. I'm emanating light anyway, so you could just have
Yeah,
the sun
you
rod
keep
for
your,
the
you keep
duration.
your ironstone. I'll chuck on the sun rod.
Zarin's finally got that sun
Thank
rod.
you.
Going your super race, Siren is certainly able to move the boat back to where he got it and moor it there, as you can climb the ladders outside of the pit. Whereas the other two are fine to get the Vera back into the house.
I know this is a very minor point, but my surgery now does stop the drenched and frozen conditions. I take it that doesn't help her with the hypothermia.
I mean, she also got injure elements, so with that, no. On its own, yeah.
Fair enough. No, I was going to say with the combination of things, like with Drazenka drying her off and then doing that, I'm just wondering what we can do, really, to help her out. I'll probably, to be honest, I'll probably just be trying to help this Vieran for a little bit. But I will say to Al...
Gonna shout off across the way. Oh no, Al, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Al. You're always taking a lot of risks, Al, and I understand you're very good at this kind of thing, but please, just be a little bit careful. You've got to come back to the village at some point.
Yeah, I know. But we said you wanted to find this girl, and I'm the one that found her.
You are. I'm not taking that away from you. And thank you. Truly. I appreciate it.
Sure.
Is there a fireplace in this house that I can get going to?
You're right next to it.
Perfect. My HP and the
Temporal points.
special points. I can't remember what they're called.
My stabby points are in the way.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and try to get a fire started.
If you don't have one, I've got a flint and steel you can take from me.
I would probably need that. Although I think I've got camping supplies. I don't remember.
I mean, you've been making camps up to this point. I'm doubtful you've lost said ability in a fireplace that's meant for it. But you're able to make a fire in the fireplace very easily.
Just while I'm doing this, can I chuck Zaire in my keystone to put in there? Because I don't think we've actually charged ours yet, have we?
I would always assume you just did it at ends.
Okay, well if it's still working, because we weren't that far off, were we? Like, this wasn't that far into our travel for the next day.
This is the end of your day of travel.
Okay. I need to look at heatstone, so yeah,
Well, they only start giving heat when you activate them, don't they?
I think so.
Barrow will guide Al and Edwin with the unconscious Vieran over to her room as she fumbles around for the keys. As you two can put the Vieran in their bed.
She seems alive, at least. Trezenka has done a lot of work in getting her dry and free of the elements. She seemed to be suffering from hypothermia. Al actually was able to pull her out from where she was holed up. Just as a side point, those 3 magical items, I take it, are on her, right? Like, when Al pulled her out, did they all move with her?
They were not magical items, they're magical auras.
Sorry.
Al never looked, because you can't see magical auras. But as far as Edwin, you know, they're still over there.
Okay. We might want to check that out before we leave then, but it's not our priority right now. In fact, all of them did a very good job of getting her out.
Aaron's gonna put on a pot of water to boil. So that whenever she wakes up, she can have some hot tea or something like that.
Yeah, I'm just going to look for blankets and things that we can wrap heat stones in. Because I don't think they cause combustion, they're just warm. Hey.
I'm afraid of the answer when I asked what's down there. Cave system shouldn't have been that large.
Well, it is hard to define it as large or small since I do not know what to compare it to, but it was crawling with creatures. Some possibly native, some less so.
Barrow will explain the layout of the cave to her knowledge, at which point, you know, it was just that stream, all of the stream that you went through, and through the staircase, it was just the north and south, but wherever those stone archways were, those were full walls. As well as where the rubble is, there used to be walls there as well. So it's a lot bigger. It's probably twice the size, maybe 3 times the size, with some cave-ins, or cave-outs.
Well, from that description, it was certainly larger. And as we were worried, Naka have indeed found a way to burrow in there.
It was a walking one, though, so maybe it walked in there. Also, Edwin, those glasses we picked up, they allow you to see magical auras, right?
Yes, they do. There are still a few down there, actually. I thought they were on your herbalist. Sorry, go on, Zaire. What were you saying?
No problem. I was just, before the sunrod wears out, I was gonna see if I could just go borrow those and see if I can get those items that you said might still be down there, or whatever the auras are.
I think our patient is stable. I can always go with you, Zaire, and just make sure they're not harmful. That's all. If you're up for it.
No, bedside manner states that you should probably stay with your patient. If you want, I could take our Drezenko with me, but I'll be fine on my own. I think we took care of all the major issues already.
Well, if you just want to identify them, then of course, have them, and I'll pull the glasses off. My bedside manner is perfectly fine. Her vitals are well. She has much of her things together. She just needs bed rest. Well,
I can come with. I don't like the idea of anyone going alone at this point.
I agree. We don't know if there's anything else down there. If you're true to this, sire, then yes, please, Druzenka, feel free to go.
That's fine. Yeah, let's head on down there before the sunrod wears out. We don't need to do like a whole thing about it, but I could just roll some swim checks if you need me to, and then we can roll checks on the items whenever we get back here.
Yeah.
If they...
Sorry, go on.
It's going to be knowledge arcana to figure out the auras.
Right, like I said, when we get back here, we can do that. I just want to get them. Do I need to do swim checks?
Yes. And there are no items, they're just auras in the area.
Oh, okay.
As I'm saying, it might be best to either me or Druzenka check out what they are.
Yeah, I can try to roll the knowledges down there.
Yeah.
We could see the auras from the outside, right?
Outside the wall, yeah, but you can't see it through the floor.
Yeah, but then you don't necessarily need to swim checks if you look at them from outside the wall.
I mean, he wanted to go underneath.
I don't
You
know
sure
what's over
did,
there.
Ziaran, with the glasses, you will see the 3 magical auras. So be 3 knowledge arcanas.
I take it Druzenka can. Yep, there we go.
Nothing.
Well, the lowest DC is 15, so you don't know anything.
4 nat 20s on knowledges and spellcrafts. Woo!
Now it's time to get them.
Oh boy.
Fair. I'd rather know if something's gonna fucking dispel all my items and kill me if it's a magical aura.
Druzenka, you know that the 2 of the magical auras are enhancing and elemental fire. So, to your best knowledge, just trying to make that little hovel as livable as she could.
Well, that looks like she was just trying to survive down here. But
If Druzenka tells you that, yeah.
Yep, she will tell him when as soon as he doesn't have to shout in the caves.
I guess there's nothing else to do down here, so let's head on back.
Indeed.
I think, yeah, we check out the camp when the EV ends. up, because it might just be nothing.
There was the one little not underground kind of section with the elementals where the one Naga body fell.
Yeah, but I think you have to fight them to
But-
get it.
Possibly, but also they didn't seem to care when the Naga just fell on them.
Up to you. We're not there.
Are you
That's not a
doing something
point.
with the elemental area?
No. It's mostly reminding people as a player.
There wasn't anything down there that we can see, right? Just to recap on it, it was just the elementals, right?
For the area where the elementals were, besides from the very short chasm, to the western corner of it, there was another pond, but you didn't investigate it too far.
Okay, yeah, maybe it is worth looking at then, because we weren't trying to find out where these things came from. Cool. Thank you for the reminder, Zeka. So these guys just come back in, let us know what happened. Is Pharaoh saying anything at all? Or just having a sit?
She was discussing, and then you guys just like left.
But we're all back now, so carry on.
You mentioned the Nagas, and then Edwin just poured up, oh, it's magical auras. Zierin and Django just left to go look at the auras, and then she just sat down after being told about Nagas.
Apologies, Pharaoh, you seemed like you were saying something. We just wanted to make sure there wasn't anything else down there. Please.
We've never had issues with Nagas in the mountains, if at all the base of the mountains. There's no Aretha that's near here. Though the troubles of the Nagas have been a recent thing. I don't know why they came here. It's too cold for them.
That is one thing people are, I assume, trying to find out about them. What are they even? What is their intentions?
The only thing that is of worth here is the apothecary hut and the stuff inside, but they weren't here. They were down below, unless they were trying to hunt for a den.
I suppose the best we can do is wait for her to wake up and tell us what she knows of what happened. Maybe we'll grab some more information then.
It did seem like she was being pursued, judging by the tracks we found and the blood.
She has salves and concoctions to help you ford the mountain, but they aren't a permanent solution. Unless the Nagas wanted to expand upon them, that's the only thing I can think of what they would want here.
If they are wanting access to the mountains, that would be a place to start.
I'll have to ask an Italian or something, see if they can investigate the local wildlife. But the Nagas are a widespread issue. It's possible they're just dealing with them elsewhere. They do not have the people power to spare. There is a thinnest part of a river towards the north, but it's about a third, half a day's ride away from here.
Well, one Naga we fought down had actual legs. It seemed different to the other Naga we've encountered before.
I'm not too well versed in Nagas, I've only heard of them. As I say, they're coming to the mountains. But if they're normally tailed folk and they've now got legs, that could allow them to go further afield.
We did also encounter some Nagalings down there that are closer to the snake-like beings we've seen elsewhere.
Might just be something we have to wait for it to pass on its own. I doubt their numbers are endless, and there's plenty of settlements on the rivers or at the ocean. I should thin them out by long.
Well, nothing we can accomplish by just talking about it right here, right now. Best we can do is wait for your friend to get better and wake up and rest up ourselves.
Hopefully she'll be awake and able to speak in the morning, but if not, I'll possibly ask if Edwin's able to stay and look after her.
How long do we have?
In regards to what?
Time frame.
To get the seeds, you're currently on day 20 of 90.
Well, it looks like it's my turn to ask you all if you don't mind sparing a few days. I don't feel right leaving this individual in a state where they may be hung between life and death, and we could have done something about it.
I found a comfy chair.
I'm fine with sticking around for a bit. I would also be more comfortable scouting the area further to see if we truly did get rid of the Nagas.
I was just thinking that if you three wouldn't mind, if we can get some kind of information as to how they got here and how they made that nest. If, from what Furry says and what we know, these things are not used to cold climes. Are they changing their abilities? Are they some kind of hybrids? That scout looked nothing like the other Nagas we fought before. Well then, Edward will just roll his sleeves up and push his hair back as best he can. I have a patient to deal with.
I suppose I'll get dinner started.
Have we got enough stuff for dinner, or do you want me to go hunting?
You've got
There
the basics,
is-
I suppose, but
There is
Go ahead.
food in the house.
Most mostly like non-perishable stuff?
Wintered fruit and veg, as well as a few hairs.
The kitchen seems well stocked enough.
You were
But
going
if
to be
you're-
resting here anyway, so it's most likely you would have been eating this.
But if you're bored, you're well free to go hunting if you want.
Sounds good to me.
Hunting in a nearby area, Al just comes back with a deer with the hind legs on one shoulder, the other legs on the other. She's just carrying it on her back. Whereas Drazenka is very easily able to make a feast out of what's been brought.
She's just putting her everything into cooking and preparing the food and just trying not to think about anything else.
Zaire will take some time to take broth or whatever like that and try to hand feed the Vera so that she gets some calories in her body at least and warm food.
She can have the broth. I don't think she's going to be able to have the chunks of deer.
I'm assuming Al is just chainsawing into it, to be honest. There's not much deer left. Might be wrong there.
It's an entire deer and she's 3 feet tall.
Yeah, but
Should give it a
she's
good go.
I was gonna say.
Is the party doing anything before they sleep?
I think Edwin is basically focusing more on the patient as a way of distracting himself from the fact that by rights one of us should have died down there, and they didn't. He doesn't know how to explain that. From a character point, he doesn't know how that happened. So he's just kind of throwing himself into it.
Really, not Trasenka's largely the same. That once she's done with the meal, she's just gonna clean up after everyone's eaten, and then she's gonna start like tidying up the house from like every little bit, like just busy work basically. Just full on distraction mode herself.
All right. When it is time to go to sleep, I'm guessing Al's taking that sofa. But for anyone else, it is mostly a place you put your bedrolls on the floor. The wooden floorboards do have a stone system with a fireplace, so with that lit, the floorboards are heated.
Edwin will probably sleep not in the room to give the VM some privacy, but he'll probably sleep like literally here. So if anything happens or any coughing starts, you can go in and do it like what he needs to do.
The day will pass into the next. If you did take any ability damage, heal 1. Unless you have anything that lets you heal more.
I can do that if anyone is really struggling.
I
Before
think
we
you're
go
the
to sleep.
only one with ability damage right now. Yes, you took a bunch of strength damage.
I did, and before we sleep, if we're all sort of settling down, I will use 4 uses of triage to fix that.
Is it one ability point per triage?
Yes. Well, it's surgery technically, but it's the same ball.
Alright. As the day goes into the next, Edwin, you will hear some stirring from the Vieran.
Edward will walk into the room. Are they awake or are they just moving?
They're awake.
Hello there, my name is Edwin Smithson. I'm a surgeon from a village not too far from here. Your friend Pharaoh brought us here. Please do not be alarmed. And I'll sort of hold my hands up.
If you're the one to have been saving me from the underground caves, I suppose I have nothing to worry about. Are the creatures still there?
Well, if you don't mind a moment, I'll go and get the rest of my party and Pharaoh. We dealt with a lot of them, but I'd like to hear what you have to say. Do you need anything before I leave? I'll be back shortly.
Something to eat would be nice.
Excellent. The patient is awake. I don't know who else is awake, but I just walk into the room and say that.
That's good to hear.
I am awake enough to hear it.
Let's go check her out.
She's after some food. I'm more than happy to pull some out. Would you mind asking her some questions? I am aware my bedside manner is much like a wagon crash.
There should still be some leftovers from last night. Can heat them up.
Excellent, thank you. And thank you, Zaire, for making it and Al for getting the parts.
Zaire didn't make it.
Oh, who made it? Was it? Oh, no, it was
Drazenka made it.
My fault, sorry. I'll thank Drazenka for it.
Zaire just.
I mean, if he straight up like thanks Zaire and like off the bat like that, Drazenka's not gonna say anything.
No, I just didn't read because I'm blind.
You just got some new fancy glasses. You're meant to be able to read now.
That's true. It's not new glasses feel though anymore. The world is not as vibrant as it should be. If Drazenka is next to me, well, I'm going to go to get this food.
Well, as soon as you mentioned it, Drazenka was the one who was gonna start scooping up leftovers and heating them up near the fireplace.
Alright. If that's the case, I don't know what to do. My sense motive is dog shit. My social skills are dog shit. I probably don't know how you're feeling.
You might still roll good. My bluff ain't great.
Yeah. Evidently it is. I don't know.
I give you that much that she is like maybe quieter than usual. Like usually she's very like chipper and in good mood from the like early morning, much to your annoyance since you're not a morning person. But right now she's like somber. Up to you how you gonna interpret that, but yeah. Also, you're perceptible enough to realize that she's still not wearing her necklace.
Yeah. I'll probably just say, God, this is weird going from high Christmas low. If you need to talk to someone about something, honestly, it's probably best to speak to them because I'm probably going to tell you something stupid like you have a fever. Whatever happened out there, Well, quite frankly, it didn't make sense. So I hope everything's alright with you.
There's a moment of pause to her movements before she looks at you and gives a small smile and nod like, I'll probably go in here at some point, but right now we have other things to worry about. But thank you. And she goes back to what she was doing.
If you break a bone, though, do feel free to talk to me, however. And I'll sort of head off. Well, no, talk to them. They're better at that.
First, you'll finish up eating the leftovers and then follow after.
Stuck behind Al and Zirin. They're in a queue. Are you two just standing here if you decide to have some kind of face-off?
Just standing.
Thought you said you were going to see the prisoner. The prisoner? The patient?
Well, I didn't realize we had a prisoner. You were, but you were blocking the doorway.
This campaign's definitely changing if that's a prisoner.
Hello there, miss. I'm Zairin.
Al's gonna walk up and grab her hand. Is it still as cold as it was before when I first pulled her out?
It's a bit clammy, but it's not as cold now.
Definitely better. Not as cold. And then just let go and walk back. Good job, Edwin.
You all saved her life. It's not just me. I simply have the tools to heal. I couldn't swim under that wall. That was you.
Yeah.
I
very
feel
true.
like if you tried, you could have.
Maybe, but Al is better at that kind of thing, aren't you?
Al,
Yes.
Jazenka, would you like to introduce yourselves? Actually, I don't even know. Edwin, did you introduce yourself?
My bedside manner is impeccable, thank you.
I'm glad you're awake. I'm Drazenka, and here you go. You must be hungry. Hands over the bowl.
The Erin is gonna scooch up her bed so she can sit up, and she takes the I'm gonna say stew.
How are you feeling?
I have got a hole in my stomach, and very cold. But leagues better than what I could have been if I had stayed in that cave.
Edwin pulls out a very sinister-looking surgical implement at the mention of hole in stomach.
No, it's fine. I've just been surviving off of the water and mushrooms, and I was able to purify in there.
Ah, you won't need a keyhole then, and I'll put everything back.
How long were you down there for?
I went unconscious at some point, but it was certainly a few hours. There was no sunlight where I was, so it was hard to tell as time passed. But a few hours. I definitely got hungry and thirsty, but I was able to, as I say, purify what was near me, but there was only so much. It was also rather cramped.
Can you tell us what happened?
I was tending the gardens as I heard a lot of the birds in the trees flee. I thought it was just some newcomers coming from the mountain, but as I looked through the fence, I saw Nagas, I think they are. Tall snake creatures. And I've been hearing from people going up and down the mountain that there's been issues of those on the rivers, and that they were a danger, so I went to lock the gate. However, some of them jumped over it, and some of them blew the lock off. I ran to my trapdoor to hide in the caves, as they shouldn't have been able to get down there elsewhere. I got hit in the back. Then I found that my cavern system had expanded. I tried my best to find a good enough place to hide, but they were coming out of the waters. I eventually had to use a scroll I picked up from a nearby settlement to make that wall and hold out in hopes that they would die before me.
That is indeed what happened, although we were the arbiters of their fates.
When was the last time you were down there before that?
Well, the fungus, the other components I have, don't need a lot of tending. I just pick them and make sure they're growing every so often. Last time I was down there was possibly a week ago.
Are you the reason why the mushrooms are in a circle in the field over there?
Oh, yes, that was something I did on my time. There's not a lot to do here.
That's fine. We were just, well, I was a little scared of, like, fairy circles. It was just a rumor from when I was a kid.
There are no Fae here, I hope.
How's the stew? Is there anything else we can get you? More blankets? Move the heat rock closer to you?
She holds out an empty bowl.
Say, Aaron will go grab some more off of the fireplace. Come on back in. Hand it to her. It's fresh off the fireplace from what was being warmed up again, so it's probably quite warm. Be careful, please.
She's already eating as you're speaking.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, you all gave your names, but, food and then questions. I'm Den Rhoda.
Nice to meet you.
Can we see how or if Pharaoh is quite relieved that she's alright? Because, as a side point, didn't she have the key to her room? Or did she pick that up
Pharaoh
from...
looked around for the key.
Oh, I thought she just had it. My bad.
No. I think I said she fumbled around for it, but she did look around the room before. She didn't have it on her.
Oh, I thought she had it on her. That's what I'm thinking about. Never mind.
But she looks rather calm, not exactly elated, but she's better now. She knows her friend is fine.
That's fine. There are some advanced treatments for you, Den, but I don't honestly think you need them with your demeanor. Pharaoh asked me to stay, but it seems like the night and the help you've been given should set you in good stead. It would say bed rest for at least 3 to 5 days, however, will do you well. Hypothermia is not a joke. I would strongly recommend not going outside.
Thank you a lot for your medical help as well as cleaning out my caves. I don't have a lot on me as payment, but I can look after your wounds in return.
Edwin will say, payment for me will not be necessary. If you wish to contribute to these three, feel free to do so. I do this for a purpose, not because I want reward.
I'm feeling just fine. I don't have any wounds I need taken care of. Edwin already took care of everything we had.
Of the same mind, this was the least we could do to aid.
What did you have in mind, anyways? I don't think that you noticed any wounds on us.
Don't give me anything, but if you were going to do it, was it nice? Was it good?
What would it have been?
I'm just. I don't need anything. What are you offering us?
Well, I am an apothecary. I am quite adept at getting rid of poisons, disease, inflictions.
Do any of us have...
And this brand new car!
Because to be fair, we haven't really checked for diseases or poisons as far as I know. But I do check people up quite often, so... I don't know. Do we have anything at the moment? It's a good point to check.
As far as you know, you're not inflicted with any diseases, no. You've been inflicted with poisons before, but they've had their course.
Yeah. Well, you seem to be on your feet. Yeah, good day. I don't mean to disturb you. And I'll head out. I'm just going to write basically a list of instructions for Pharaoh or for Den on how to deal with hypothermia for a little bit.
We're kind of on a schedule, but we're not too far behind. Is there anything else that you might want or need from us so that you don't have to do too much work in the next couple of days?
No, I can attend to my hut. It's just I'm going to be cleaning up after that attack.
Do you have enough firewood for the next few days?
I'm surrounded by trees. I should be fine.
I'm
Yes,
sure
but cutting logs is strenuous activity.
No, the recent blizzard dislodged plenty of branches for me.
Alright then. While we're still here, Zarin will keep bringing her leftover stew every time the bowl is empty until she asks him to stop.
She was good at the 2 bowls. Is there no other questions? I'm don't know how else I could help if you're... Are you investigating the Nagas?
We were mostly just passing through on our way through the mountains. Pharaoh said that this would be a good place to stop for the night. And then we came upon your house all disorderly and ransacked. And we rushed to help.
It is always nice to know that there are good people on the roads.
Well, if you're feeling well enough, I guess the rest of us should gather up our things and make our way on out of here. Oh, Al caught a deer and I don't know what to dressed it. We can leave some of that meat here for you.
Might help, yes. I don't know if the doctor would like me hunting in my condition.
All right, we'll see about getting some of that preserved for you in salt or something. All right, bye. How cold is it outside?
Single digit Celsius.
So cold enough that um, meat won't spoil rapidly.
That's like
Hmm.
fridge. 6 is around fridge, I think.
Yeah, fridge is meant to be between 3 and 7, I think. You can
So it'll
put it
keep a
into
little
the
bit.
snow.
Yeah, I was thinking like bury it in snow with some salt or something like that on it to help prevent bacteria from growing.
The problem with raw meat outside, though, predators.
Right. Does she have like a larder or anything like that? Cold storage? Although I guess
She does have storage bins outside.
there we go. I'll just pack them with snow and put the meat in the storage bins. As fresh as snow as I can find.
You find non-bloody snow. But then it snowed in the night, so you'll probably be able to find bloody snow anyway.
Yeah, I got scent. I might be able to.
I don't know if you'll be able to smell blood mixed into the day-old snow. But I'm not a wolf, so I don't know.
Same.
Blood has a pretty strong scent. Before we leave, should we do another sweep in the tunnels?
Might be worth it, just in case there's anything else that might attack them. You never know, we might have missed one.
We did go through quite hastily as we were searching for her.
I'm fine to wait another hour or two if you're wanting to make totally sure that underground is fine.
That would at least ease my mind if we are going to leave Den here by herself.
What's Zaira's opinion?
Yeah, sure. Let's go. Let's clear them out. Make sure.
Ow.
Yeah, Al was one of the ones that agreed to go check it out.
I shall drag you back down. Oh god. Jack B, I know what you mean now. I just see a load of arrows from people down here.
Yep, that happens.
Arrows?
It's the rule.
Yeah,
It's weird
the
now.
rulers.
They updated the ruler and apparently broke it.
I can see one back where you're fighting the spiders, another one where you're pointing at the cocoon, another one where you're pointing down the stream.
But those are the old rulers, because they only
Yeah.
updated like this week.
It's literally all of them.
But like, why would the old ones get stuck?
Well, those are the ones you pointed today. Because Jazza did one in like a
Alright.
weird right angle, and I saw him do it. I was like, why are you doing that? But now I'll just see it for eternity. Unless I refresh.
I take it, Zhenka, you want to go and check out the camp, like down. I was going to use a ruler then. South.
You can.
Well, that's one of the areas, but mostly to just do a thorough sweep.
Also, with Pharaoh's explanation, I can use the arrows that won't stay for me to show you where the previous cave pretty much stopped. So that's the area the cave used to just be.
Okay, so she didn't know where the Naga eggs were, but did she mention anything about the spiders? Because there were quite a lot of them.
She did not know.
They were big. Alright.
And the bodies were like, what did we say, week old?
The bodies of the cocoons, they were in the week's range.
So your arrow's gonna stay forever for us now?
I was just holding it.
Oh, okay, no. It's gone now.
So yeah, the new area was the nest and the big area, and then that place.
Yeah,
Where the,
this side area here, that's new.
where the things were, and the camp.
This is all new. And the river was like cordoned off by walls, but now the river connects into the cave.
Start with the camp then, since that is new.
Zarian walks into the darkness.
He doesn't go far before he's just like waiting for the light to catch up. I assume Drozenko is nearby. She can just see him like dragging a hand along the wall and sniffing.
He cannot see. It's too dark.
Thought you had dark vision.
No, you should have your own light sources. You should
There
each
are
have
iron
at least.
torches.
You should at least have one each.
Do we all have iron torches? I didn't think we
I'm
had.
pretty sure
Everyone
all
has
got-
9 torches.
everyone except for Drazenko because I have dark vision.
I can just drag him in, so. I think mine's just on, because I can see a lot more than I normally could. And think it's just because on this map I've got vision. But it is the Iron Torch. Light.
Love how perfectly the torch covers Aaron's token. So it's just potato with ears.
You're gonna have to take that up with the artist.
Don't know who threw the stone.
Are you searching for the camp then?
Yes.
Alright, roll me perception. Perception doesn't go well in the dark.
Our Edwin gonna come. There we go.
Do not rely on me, perception. Perception is fucking terrible. I'll try it though. Never mind.
Alright. Looking at this camp, it's definitely not designed by any races that you commonly are around. The small tent is a stretched hide that is severely moldy. And as far as you can tell, it's been put up several times before. It's possibly been taken from elsewhere. And the nearby cages used to have meat in them, but have since been emptied. You can roll knowledge dungeoneering if you have a trained. You're pretty sure that this is a Naga camp.
I will relay that information with. Edwin looks quite aghast at this. They were certainly using this as some kind of base of operations. But for how long?
Do you think they were expanding the cave system without Rivera knowing?
Well, it must have been the Nagas.
But how? This is too cold. Even now, this is. It is cold in these caves, right? It's not.
It's
warm.
slightly warmer than the above top, but it's still cold.
I've got an idea. This may be waffle. Are they crossbreeding or changing their physiology to be able to survive in warmer climates? Would that be why they're doing this, or is that just a leap? Because I have no idea how I'd get that, but it seems like they're trying to change something here. But they're not changing the temperature; they're changing themselves. Because that Naga scout, or maybe it is just a one-off, not only looked different, but was absolutely fine. Like, we haven't seen a single Naga down here apart from
We
that.
saw those Nagalings.
Oh no, we did see Nagalings, yeah. Apologies, no, you did. But how are they fine? Because they're reptiles.
Well, they're dead now. Can't ask them.
If they don't turn into undead, it may be worth us doing I hate to say it, but a dissection on one of these Naga. Something very wrong here.
I'm stuck in the wall.
Get out of there, Wilson.
Thank you.
We already know they had outside help with the whole necromancer situation. Perhaps they had more help. Someone to help them with the environment.
looking over this corner, you'll see quite a few bags, boxes, and an opened chest. A lot of them are devoid of contents, but you could definitely smell meat on the air, as well as that of graphite. In some of the bags, you can find pieces of paper that are blank, as well as quills and inkwells that are sealed, as well as 10 scrolls that currently have writing on them. They would need spellcraft or read magic.
We have both of those now. What have you found?
Some scrolls,
May I?
please.
Have read magic now. Spellcraft.
You don't need spellcrafts. Read magic just tells you.
Okay.
You know that those 10 scrolls are scrolls of Indrellet.
Edwin slaps his head again. Of course. The spellcasters, they're using this. They're using your spells. Well, not your spells, Josenko, but these are endure element scrolls. That's how they're alive up here. They can't survive without it. It's magical enhancement.
That does make sense.
This smacks of organization. More than simple tribes or smaller groups.
Some sort of intelligent creatures.
They are intelligent, but I think this new name is leading them. Some kind of... I hesitate to say queen, they're not a hive, but you understand my meaning. It's someone who directs them. This can't be good.
Some sort of leadership.
Yes, exactly.
So it would almost make sense for what either Ferroorten herself set up stairs that they came here to perhaps try to look for a permanent solution for the temperature, and this was the start.
Possibly. This is admittedly conjecture. We don't have hard evidence. This is bad.
Well, we already suspected they were seeking passage to the mountains, but for what end? And in general, what are they after?
My thought is that if they can go through the mountains rather than bypass them, they have a much faster way of traveling. The rivers are the highways, their lifeblood. I'll ask, does Zyurin have our map, or who has our map?
Not me.
It might be just Zenka or Al, because you have the best survival, don't you?
Well, reading map is knowledge geography.
Maybe it's me then.
So probably you.
I'll pull out the map and just say, here, all of you, look at this. The rivers go around the mountains. This could be days, even, of extra travel for these creatures. And Josenka, yes, maybe there is something in these mountains they want, but even just the extra days of travel. I mean, think about it. If you wanted to get somewhere to attack somewhere, you don't want to spend days outside of it.
But where are they going in the first place?
I have a horrible feeling they're going south. Quite far south.
Towards home?
Maybe. Hatterwood is not connected to major rivers, but there are, I'm assuming, parts of it that are.
The only river that actually goes into Cutthroat's domain is on the road that leads to the Nonaris, and it's like half of a hex, and that's about it. There's no other rivers that connect to the ocean.
Not to the ocean, but like, is there tributaries off that river that then go into the domain?
No.
Oh, okay.
There's only one blue line that goes into Cutthroat's domain. The rest of it like circumvents all of the rivers.
Damn, we must be.
All of our fresh waters from watersheds.
struggling.
All of your water is from ponds and lakes and wells.
Maybe not that far then, but whatever. If these things are controlling the river system, this is bad. Many of these towns must get their lifeblood from it. Maybe not our towns, but further down south, they... Not into Cutthroat's domain, but these people will suffer badly if they're not going to get further up. Maybe they want it as a spawning ground. I mean, look at those eggs.
It could be just general expansion. Not
Exactly.
towards no particular or no specific area in particular, just everywhere.
Maybe so, but that certainly strikes of a organized and intelligent being, does it not? Forward bases, expansions, bases of operations.
Well, they're only shown that they are intelligent and organized.
But
They
some
have
kind of-
they have allies, they have magic.
Exactly, and now they have some kind of direction. This Yoshkike is far more dangerous.
They
than I
had
thought they would be.
direction already when they attacked Lunaris, did they not?
Exactly, but that was only days ago, yes? However long Yoshkike has been looking after these things, maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's just conjecture, but
It could just be that this is the first time we've heard the name Yoskike.
exactly. But you're right, they're attacking like an organized people.
Stepped out of Cthulhu's domain, we were warned about these attacks. Who knows how long this has been going on?
Yes, I'm just worried. Sorry, let's move on.
It's natural to be worried. This is a worrying situation.
As you search around that smaller camp, you will see that there is a journal. However, it's used in a strangely reverse manner, as the pages have been torn out from the left to the right, and it seems like the journal is around quarter used up. And the last page, well, the first page that is actually not torn out, has some writing on it that I think some more people can understand. Edwin and Zaire know it, even though Drink is the one to find it, but she can't read it.
She'll immediately show it to the party.
I'm right here, so I guess I'll read it.
I was going to say Zairin's closest, so he probably knows. If you see it, feel free.
Let me guess, it's an undercommon.
Yes,
Do you know 2 languages?
he knows 4.
Oh, that's really good. No, I wasn't being sarcastic there. I thought, like, when you said undercommon, you were like, yep, I have 1 of 2. That's it.
It was just the most likely that it would have been from these creatures.
No, you're right.
The page reads, Fortnight 2. Bunny Ears is harvesting as usual. Not seen are walls of fog and fake. River cut in the wall is almost complete. Big ones can get through soon. Take hut when they come. Need no witnesses. Bring body and minerals to Yoskike. Permanent growth and solution to chill. Rock ones stop some progress. Use small beds to get out and thank.
Well, that
We
answers
saw
the
a-
question
carry on.
how. That answers the question how she didn't notice the expansion.
I'm assuming the walls of fog and fake are illusion, maybe?
Illusion or similar magic that she herself used to hide herself.
Um, does anybody know what kind of minerals might be down here that they'd be after? I don't know rocks very well.
Since you know Undercommon, you're pretty sure they meant materials, not minerals.
Okay. Maybe just materials? There's mention of permanent growth and solution to chill, but not what it could be.
Looks like they managed to take a lot of it out.
Alright, step away for a second, then we'll have.
This part says use small beds to get out and flank. I'm wondering if that's supposed to be boats.
And I think Fank is flank.
That sounds about right.
Jazenka, I think you mentioned it before, but in that area of the small earth elementals, there was a smaller pool, yes? And there was a pool up the top. Maybe they're connected.
Again, since you know Undercommon, you're pretty sure when they say beds, they mean water beds, so a small pond.
So that's what I'm trying to infer.
Okay.
So they were using those to hide in as well.
We need
Like
to-
they actually did with us, or with the who was it? That
The
fought-
Narglings up north did come out of the pond when they ambushed you.
Oh yeah, okay.
They want the body and the materials for Yoshkaik. We need to get her out of here. If she's debilitated from hypothermia, we can't let her get stronger. I know we have a mission here, but we can't simply let this go.
And since you know that the pages in this thing have been torn out, they were writing in the diary and then taking the pages out to send them. So this page has not been sent yet.
And it's Fortnite 2, so they've been here for almost a month, right? 28 days?
As far as you can gather from this one,
And that would have been sometime before now, because this should have been sent off within the last day or two, I think, based off of what they're talking about.
And judging from the oldest eggs, they were laid at least 4 months ago.
I wonder how long it's gonna take before something comes looking for the Noglings that were here.
Exactly. In that document, if you... I mean, Zarin showed it to us. Big ones. More of those scouts, maybe, or something similar. She can't... No one can live here.
Probably some sort of raiding party or something like that. They see this as some sort of strategic location.
Possibly. It's a little bit warmer down here. I guess it's through well. And because I don't realise how bad this is from a RP perspective, I'll look at Drake and say, I suppose it's divine intervention we were here in the first place, wasn't it?
Possibly.
This is what I'm saying. We won't be here when they come back. If they come back, we'll be gone.
When they don't receive this missive, they probably show up to see what's going on relatively soon. I don't know how often they were sending messages, but it had to be pretty often.
Exactly. We should warn them upstairs. Good response, Drazenka, with the coming back down here. Ow. Thoughts?
None as usual.
Don't be like that, Zahiran. She has thoughts. Just distracted sometimes. And just runs away.
To be fair, she wasn't here during that whole conversation.
You are muted, Justin, by the way. I don't know if you know that or not.
I was away for that whole conversation, whatever the conversation was.
Basically, we found that journal entry, essentially confirming that this is some kind of staging site, and that they've been watching this place for at least 2 weeks, and we know that they've been nesting here for over 4 months.
Fortnight is 2 weeks, so it says fortnight's 2. It would be 2 fortnights, which is 28 days.
I said that earlier and then forgot about it. Yes.
Yeah.
What,
Though obviously that's not how you
Nagas
spell fortnights.
or-
Yeah, this is written in Undercommon, and these are Naga camps.
Right, okay.
You first, Ira, and I'll hold the rear. So where do we need to go apart from that? Are we going down into the elemental part?
Just gonna look around the elementals, like, still just chilling.
They are hovering and looking around. But they are, like, down there. So they're 20 feet down.
Well, it doesn't sound like these guys or the Raltos were part of the Naga plan.
I don't think so. I think they're just elementals, really.
May have been a byproduct of their own expansions.
Possibly. I'll be honest, it seems like a shame to hurt them. We should warn the people above, but they're not doing anything.
But what if they do decide to do something? They might have a change of rock.
Maybe. Do you really want to go in there and kill them on the assumption that they may be bad?
I'll kill most things.
You could always acknowledge them and ask about things that aren't combat related, but that will take up your combat related traits.
I mean, we could. They don't seem particularly active at the minute. I'm good to just crack on, but what do you guys want to do?
If anything, leave them here might deter the Naga even further, even if it's just a little.
Indeed.
Edwin, are they intelligent enough to have conversations?
We're about to find out.
If you speak the same language, I would imagine so.
Let me check my languages.
Does anybody speak rock elemental?
I do not have Terran. That is on the list.
Nope.
Should we do knowledge?
You could try.
Sure.
Here's my contribution to the knowledge. I have no
Thanks.
knowledges.
You pull the lever and you fall into the chasm.
Wrong lever.
If you are doing knowledges, it's knowledge planes.
I was about to say, it's our age, about 80 years, have become significantly taller.
Can it be done?
Gonna 8.
Untrained.
This one has to be trained.
Okay.
These are minor earth elementals, small bundles of rocks that tumbles towards the foes. You can learn 6 traits. Pretty sure I've not used them in this campaign yet.
Language.
Yeah, can we swap like 5 and 6 for language and maybe... I don't know what we would ask for this, but like behavior type? Would they attack
Can they be
hostile?
friendly?
Yeah, are they passive or are they kind of just... They just
A level of hostility.
Yeah, maybe that. Like, do they just vibe?
Let me get
What
you
do they do?
their personality type. They are Faters. Write out what you want to know. You could ask for what their common alignment is.
Problem with alignment is it's subjective.
The alignment is for their species, but there are always going to be individuals in a species.
I can just try to check that out. I think they're close enough.
They're 20 feet down. That's within 30
That's
feet.
30 feet, yep.
You know that they are true neutral.
That's my thoughts.
I'm happy with those. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. Give me 1 secundo. They are weak to winds. They are immune to earth, as well as having elemental traits. They have no resistances. They have earth glide, where they can pass through stone and rock. Their languages are just Terran, and they have intelligence of 4.
So they're not stupid, but
Unfortunately, I can't. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't communicate them with. They're not. But they're not. From what you say, Drazenka, as well, that I think they just want to be here.
They at least do not seem too bothered by our just looking at them.
No, we're not exactly far enough away. Like, if they wanted to move towards us, I'm assuming they could. They can burrow.
I suppose one way to test the theory would be to go down to get that Naga body. Or at least the scale from it.
I'll be honest. I think it may be a bit of a waste of time, but I'm willing to do so. We may simply cause a fight with things that wish to be as they are.
I do not disagree with you.
I can go down there if that's what we're gonna do. I'm a little harder to hit than you are.
It's no question of winning the fight there, and it's more a case of
I suppose it mostly goes down to what do we want to do with this place.
indeed. And also, our principles. Are we simply going to kill them for the sake of it? For a scale? If so, fine. I don't like it, I'll be honest. I'll say that now. But if you go in there, I'm going to have to back you up.
I'm gonna start by going to the other side and slowly making my way down instead of just hopping down 20 feet.
You're outside of combat. You can do just taking 10, but I think you have like plus 11 acrobatics anyway. It's DC 5 to go across it, so you're fine.
I'll also go around with him and just be up there on that side.
Yeah, do you have a negative to your acrobatics?
I was gonna like take the long way to circle
Oh,
around.
walking around, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna try to be non-threatening to them and just go like 5 feet at a time.
As you begin to climb it down the staircase, we will have our break here.
Alright. See you in time.
Oh boy.
And I should bring it back.
No rocks.
I'm gonna walk down there and poke that sentient rock and hope it works.
Is your mic on? Well, your sound for your microphone on, Jester?
I'm not going to tell you. You're going to figure it out yourself.
Alright, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're very quiet though.
What?
But you seem fine to me.
Thank you.
No, I meant on stream. It's
I
fine.
can't turn it up anymore on the stream. It's max volume.
Activate reverb. That's what you need.
Hmm.
I'll up the bass.
The buttery biscuit base. Zairin, as you take that first step onto that first stair, everyone will notice all the earth elementals shift around, and whilst they don't have faces, they all shift as if they're aiming towards Zairin, but they don't do anything else.
Do they seem like they're taking a defensive posture, or are they just looking at him?
They're just staring stalactites at him.
I'll sort of look over to Edwin and be like, are we actually fighting these things to kill?
Rather not, honestly, but I think Zayaman's trying to communicate them with them. The problem is we don't speak their language.
So I'm trying to be non-threatening as possible. Can I roll like a diplomacy or something like that to try to prevent this from devolving into a fight?
There's going to be major penalties, but you can.
All right, here we go. Here goes nothing.
That's pretty good.
All right. They continue staring at you.
I'll take another step down then.
I will, if Zarin takes another step, I will sort of not draw a blade, but get ready, and I'll look at Al to do the same.
Get ready to do what?
To get down there if we need to, but I'm not drawing anything. I'm just letting him do what he wants to do. I'm just concerned.
Her blood rushes faster, so she's ready to transform. That's a laugh.
Hero points, please.
Yeah.
I got nothing left.
We got
Do
nothing
they
left.
are they getting ready to attack me yet?
They're still staring at you.
All right, I'll take the last step down. I'm still trying not to be threatening.
Al's gonna like pick up a nearby rock and like look at Edwin and point to it and pretend to throw it.
Edwin just shakes his head. Just let.
What?
Looks
Shakes
at
it in
it
a
for a
nod?
No, in a side to side. Like, no.
Just see a sad face on Al. Oh.
If I still seem fine, I'm going to look over the Nagaling over here and try to see if I can find their fish scale and take it.
As you walk across the basement floor where these things are, you can easily see the elementals are like angling themselves as if they're staring at your feet as you're moving through.
They're staring at my feet.
Yeah, they're watching how you're walking.
Okay, I will. If I can notice that, I will intentionally point my toes towards the Nagaling between these two things, the two elementals, and I will very carefully, slowly take step until I get there, and then I will only focus on the Nagaling as I'm trying to find the fish scale and remove it, and then I will slowly back away if I am able to accomplish that.
They'll let you do it.
Then I will turn around to climb back up these rock faces.
I'll wait for him to get up.
They don't do anything. They just look at you. They're no longer looking at your feet, though. They're just looking at you in general.
That wasn't too bad.
The elementals then lose focus and then just like start to ponder around.
Well, they don't look to be hostile then.
That's a relief at least.
Yeah, Edwin takes like a big sigh of just not a sigh of like exasperation, just a relief of stress. Oh.
If there's nothing else, can we get out of here? It's really, really dark, and I know we've got the light, but I feel like there's the rock's just gonna fall at any moment.
I'll head round to where the entrance is.
I don't think there's much reason for us to linger, but we do need to decide what we wanna inform then.
Are we all together, or are you guys having a chat between yourselves? Because I don't want to intrude.
She's also making her way towards the entrance.
In all honesty, I think we need to ask Den to leave. I would hate to ask someone to leave their home, but the Naga obviously have plans here. From the document that yourself and Zaire found, she will be in danger as long as she lives here.
Well, on that note, I also do not like the idea of leaving this place basically unguarded and allowing the Naga to do their work here.
Could your tribe? Well, no, sorry, not your tribe. Could the Ronso help? in the mountains, could they establish an outpost here, or maybe if we go to the next town, could they help? Surely none that are being affected by the Naga are happy for this to go on.
Possibly,
agree.
but they seemed focused on keeping up to the mountains and taking care of the shrines there. We could ask Pharaoh to bring them the message and ask if they have any spare, but they didn't really seem like a warrior tribe.
Maybe not. Maybe we can get word to someone in... Is it Forstead, sorry, that's the main adventuring town to the south? I want to say it was Forstead.
Closest place, Forstead.
No, like the main one that we went to, almost like the first major settlement we got to after we got out of Atterwood.
Linares?
Maybe it was Linares. I don't know where I'm getting that from. But yeah, like, can we get word to them to send someone over here? Because they've been dealing with Naga attacks quite frequently, haven't they?
Linares has, yeah. They were the ones that were attacked via the waterways whilst you were still there.
Yeah. Maybe we can ask some adventurers to guard this place for a time, or at least some kind of guard. The problem with this place is there's no major settlement here, is there? They've picked their staging ground well. There's no one who, apart from the occupant, there's no one who cares. Do they? This place is just a cave. To them, at least.
And from the sound of it, everyone seems to be busy protecting their own homes, own places of settlement. This is happening everywhere.
It reminds me of a piece of literature. When danger comes, everyone huddles around their fires, but they don't care about whoever is huddling around others nearby. People are pulling up the walls, circling the wagons, as it were. We're not linking our wagons together. I say we, anyone. People are fighting this Naga Scourge on their own. I don't think either they realise it, they don't care that someone else is. It's like an infection. It sounds very like an infection. Sorry, I'm waffling again.
So are you gonna break the bad news to them and make a move?
In all honesty, the three of you are better at breaking news. If you want me to walk in there and tell them that their house is...
I've got it, don't worry.
I can tell them.
Well, whoever can convince them, I'll add it to the tally then. How does that sound?
Perhaps
Just
not
see
the best
Alan
thing to
Zirin trying to push through the
make
same door.
into. Perhaps not the best topic to make into a competition.
To be clear, you need to be nice.
I'm always nice. Get out the way.
May I go see her, Pharaoh?
Yes?
I'm trying not to push through Pharaoh. I'm like, ow.
Hey, Den!
Good look.
Need you to move out.
I'm gonna look at Senka and just going, I've made a huge mistake, haven't I?
Well, it's already in motion.
Well, I'll deny it. Okay.
We have some bad news then. The Nogalings that were in the cave system, they're expanding it on purpose. they've been sending regular reports back to their leader. And I feel like if you stay here, your life is going to be in danger.
More?
Yeah, for some reason they see this as a strategic spot. And their plan was to kill you without any witnesses or evidence and take over this area. And I'll bring out the journal, that entry that we found, and I'll just read it to her, and then correct the language that they misspelled or miswrote as I go, so that she can see. Or I don't know, she probably doesn't speak Undercommon, so but just so that we're not just like, spitting out random stuff.
Well, it certainly seems like things aren't going to get better anytime soon.
Unfortunately not.
Oh, you need to move out.
Or you can just come out and say it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to move on my own.
Well, you better find somebody to help you then.
No.
What? What'd I say?
Go. Just go.
What? What? She just starts walking out. What did I say?
I'm sorry for her. She's not very socially cognizant.
I was having all
Anyways,
of this dumped on my lap and then told to leave. I'm sure there's better ways.
we have some ideas for some things that might help. We could send word back to the oh dang it, what's the name of the race that we were just of the town that we were just at? The Ronso? No, not Ronso.
The Shevas, yeah, that's wrong. So
Oh, it
Yeah,
is.
they're on
Okay.
those.
Yeah, okay, I was right. Yay. We can send back word to the Ronso village. We're on our way to a different direction. We could try to get some adventurers or something like that to come back up here and help you out, either to stay here with you and defend the area or to help you move. We want to help as much as we can, but we also have to keep our own schedule.
There's a lot of Naga issues going around from what I hear. They're going to have people to spare.
I don't know. The offer is just we could pass it along and hope that they have somebody available. If you could put up maybe some of your alchemical wares as a bounty, we could try to make it into a contract. That might make it more likely for somebody to take it.
I suppose, but there's only so much I can offer for their aid. Though I suppose it's more of a not exactly strategic in that kind of sense, but this is a necessity for people to be able to cross the mountain range.
Like your hut here is necessity for people to get across. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I help them with the cold as well as giving them a place to stay when they start or end their journey.
Perhaps you could take a trip to the Ronso village and ask them to send some guards back with you. Maybe somebody's looking for a place to live outside the village, maybe. I don't know them that well, so I don't know if that would be possible, but I just don't feel like you staying out here by yourself is a good idea. This missive here that is in this journal was supposed to have been sent off at some point recently, and I feel like they're gonna come looking when it never arrives.
I believe the Ronsos have people to place here.
The best we can do is ask. I don't know if that's a possibility. If this outpost is as strategic as you say it is, then it's pretty necessary that they send somebody out here. Might just have to do it whether they want to or not.
I guess I'll have to have that hope.
I'm gonna talk to our cleric and ask them to write a letter to the holdings of Shiva and see if they'll be able to help too.
All right. Thank you.
It's the least we could do. We'll also, like I said, we'll leave word with the adventuring guilds in the next town, and hopefully they'll be able to send people your way as well. I suggest resting up for a day or two, and then taking what you need to the nearest village and asking for their help. But we'll definitely leave you with that letter, and we'll definitely send word to the next town.
All right then.
I hope you feel better soon. And then I'll walk out. I think I got myself stuck.
Because you're in the wall.
Well, I don't know if she's gonna move, but she's at least gonna go try to get some help from the Ronso village. And I told her we would leave a message with the adventuring society or guild in the next town. And Dredzenka, if you would be willing to write a letter to the I don't know if you call him a priest of Shiva in the Ronzo village as like a request for aid, maybe?
I would be happy to.
If need be, we can put some money together. Put a contract out here to defend this house.
I suggested that as well.
I suggest we do that. I hate to say it, but anyway, even if they stay in the campsite outside, I don't like the idea of leaving these people alone. Pharaoh, I assume you can't stay here, can you?
If you don't need me to guide you onto the next settlement, I would want you to send a message for me in that case, but I can stay here. There's only so much I can do in a fight, though.
That is what I was going to ask, actually, if Pharaoh, you would be able to stay with Dan for the time being and maybe escort her, help her move to the Shevas. I'm sure we can find our way out towards north ourselves.
Yeah, you can just give us some tips or something like that to aid us on our way. Maybe mark out a trail on the map.
Then I'm sure
Well-
your word for request for aid would weigh much more than mine.
All you really need to do is follow the roads from here. My guideship is mostly through the mountain range. It's just courtesy to take you to the next settlement.
With all due respect, I think that your friend needs assistance more than we do here.
Indeed.
And this will only be temporary. If we can have some kind of go, or if it's possible to collapse those cave systems, the ones that weren't as they should be, then this place can go back to normal. But has anyone
Maybe.
actually shown them the letters?
I showed her the one from the book.
Pharaoh, do you speak Undercommon?
No.
Hold on, and I'll get out a piece of. I'll open up the book to the next page, and I'll grab some ink, and I'll just translate and correct as I go along.
Yep, you're easily able to do that. I don't think your character is unable to write when they can read.
Thank you, Zara. This will explain what they've been doing. They've been here for weeks. It's not a measure of incapability, it's a measure of safety.
Pharaoh, if you could ask around in the Ronzo village if maybe somebody could speak Terran, you might be able to convince some rock elementals that are down there to collapse the cave systems for you.
I do know of a few people that speak Terran, yes.
Wonderful. They seemed friendly enough to us. They didn't attack us outright, especially even when we got real close to them. As long as you're non-threatening and you try to talk to them first, I think that you might be able to barter with them to get them to collapse the caves.
I can try and do that.
I've written a list of possible return symptoms for hypothermia on the notepad in the hall, or the living room, sorry. Please make sure you read them.
I shall do.
Okay.
Let me write that letter for you.
Don't want to break RP too much, but Jack B, you sound very quiet to me.
Yeah, sorry, I was speaking quietly. That was all. Is that better?
It's a little better.
I mean, I still have you at 160%.
This has been happening recently, bear with me.
This is the way he blows out my ears.
I am about to increase output, so maybe.
I shall reduce my output. You'll be increasing your input.
Then nothing will change.
Because input is microphones, you're putting sound into it. Output is your headset for your ears.
Yeah, it's just where it is. I'll put it a bit closer to me.
That is a little bit better at least. So, anyways, back to what we were doing.
Farah writes out a request for aid for you to move over to Natalia. Or Natalian.
And if Pharaoh thinks he'll help, Drasenka's also gonna do the same for the Shevas on her end.
Yeah, that's fine. But there's plenty of parchment and inkwells in an apothecary.
It's one of their best ways of making money. Ink is expensive. And they could make it.
Through that.
Is there anything else?
Can I just do a final checkup on the patient?
The patient.
On
You may want to do a checkup on all of us as well before we leave, while we still have access to some halfway decent medical supplies.
I just want to make sure.
What do you mean halfway decent? It's an apothecary. They're
Yeah.
fairly decent.
Way better than trees and scrub out in the frozen tundra.
Hey, I have several medical kits on me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but those are your supplies.
It's fine. I just want to make sure Dren's okay, and then I will just double check everyone, and then we'll head
As
out.
far as you can tell. Den, probably going to be bedridden for a couple of days. As far as you can tell, it's not going to be any permanent damage. Spells and potions she had on her were enough to see to that.
I'll give her a copy of the list, basically, of hypothermic treatments. I am sorry about this, Den, but if something comes back here while we're not here, both of you could die. And I know you don't want that. This is only temporary. Your home will be your home again. Good day. But just makes space at the door.
As Pharaoh and Drasenka exchange letters, Pharaoh will ask Drasenka, "Where is your necklace gone?"
It took a little bit of a hit down there. I wanted to keep it safe so it doesn't break any further.
Well, it's better your effects than you.
That is true. Please stay safe, both of you.
I extend the same to you. Pharaoh hugs Drasenka. Up to her how she responds.
She'll hug back. May she forever watch over both of you.
I hope those two don't keep you up at night with their rowdiness. She points at Siren and Ow.
It's nothing I'm not used to.
Anyways, I think I got that point.
Owl's just in a daze.
Nobody is denying me. I will take it.
Yeah. He must have quite a few people at his door.
I'm gonna get the chocobos ready.
Is the party moving on?
I assume so.
Yeah.
Are there going to be any repeated attempts at learning the blind and sleep?
Yeah, while we're on the road, I'm gonna try again on them.
You finally learned both the spells.
All I needed was to be extremely distracted.
Sorry, I had to wrangle my cat. What happened?
On the road again.
You're on the road again, as Drzenka finally learnt those two scrolls.
Nice.
Distracting myself with magic so I don't have to think about my own mortality.
Did you ever identify the headbands from the Shiva caves?
No, because we fucked it up, so we can try that now.
You can attempt that again.
Tell me your secrets.
You indeed do so. The headband from the caves is a headband of inspired wisdom +2.
I think we know who that goes to. It was the Rock. If you two are right with that, just through an intro.
Yep.
I'll take it.
Jester, did you have very, very early Christmas carolers?
No, I had my neighbour that needed something lifted up the stairs.
Fair enough. Alright. As the party settles on their way, they carry on towards the crossroads. Due to the last part of the icy area, you're able to get to the crossroads by the time it's getting towards nighttime. However, both Zyron and Edwin... Is Edwin, or is it just... Have I written this down? Who's driving? Drivers, Drzenka and Zyron.
Yeah.
You're easily able to see large, bloodied paw prints on the road ahead.
Do you see that?
Surprisingly, yeah, I do.
We'd best get a bit closer.
Are you dismounting the carriage, or are you riding up to them?
Like a bit closer and then dismounting to look.
right. Dismounting the carriage, you come up to a kind of rocket canyon with tall mountains on either side. Dead trees, both kicked over or just in the wrong season, line at the middle of the road. And as you come to the bloodied footprints, they are definitely large, almost enough that they could crush you. The area has a heavy scent of blood, both from corpses old and new. You can also notice glinting off to the east an even bigger pile of blood and mostly skeletal corpses, though you can see that they have been picked apart almost as if somebody was eating them.
Whoa.
Can I look at the footprints of the blood and see how fresh it seems to be?
Yeah, survival. Within the hour.
Nope, I rolled it twice apparently. Do I get anything more, or is it just still within the hour?
Within 30 minutes.
Very recent.
You always seem to be too late, it seems.
Walking around the dead tree, Druzenka, you'll both hear and see a very large yellow-scaled creature to the north, as blood trails go towards it with some droplets around its base.
Can we move? Sorry, I don't want to interrupt
Yeah,
you.
you can
but-
move.
Is there something to recognize the creature?
It'd be Knowledge Arcana. You are unable to identify what it is, Druzenka. Edwin, you know that it is a juvenile yellow dragon. However, it's not from your part of the continent, as it is westernly designed.
I was gonna. Is it dead or conscious?
It's conscious. It is cleaning itself.
I was gonna approach it slowly, hands up. This is probably very out of character to everyone else.
Yeah,
Wow.
Edwin's gonna. Because I was gonna ask you about this, and it literally just happened. So Edwin's gonna move to the rest of them and just kind of say, "Let her go. I think she knows what she's doing."
Call on us if you need help, Al.
I'm pretty sure you'd be able to see if I needed help. You're like speaking Draconic. Hello there?
The dragon moves its head towards you, as you can see it flare up its claws. Are you another one of these poachers wanting to get scales and hide?
I will sort of like whip around her tail and wings. No. I have my own, thank you. What happened here?
Not so brilliantly, no. I was traveling, and these creatures deigned to fill me with bolts of both metal and lightning. It did not suit them very well.
Are you injured at all? Do you need any help? We have a healer.
The dragon just like waves its arms around as if to say, "No, duh."
Fair enough. It's thick-skinned. I understand. You mind if my party gets a bit closer?
As long as they are not of the same mind that those other creatures were.
Well, they haven't attacked me yet, and hopefully as long as you don't show any hostility, they won't attack you. They seem to be pretty friendly lot.
Is the dragon replying to her in Draconic?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll wave the party over. As long as we're not hostile to her, him, it, dragon, sorry, I didn't ask. Then it won't attack, but just be careful.
Edwin will actively drop his crossbow and unbuckle his sword belt and then walk over, so he's completely unarmed. Apart from his little knife and his boot.
Hi there, I'm Za'irin.
The dragon will reply to you in common.
Viasaf.
Veersath. Okay, that's kind of hard to say, but I think I got it.
It seems Virasath here got attacked. Showered with bolts and magic. As you can see, didn't really do much. But they did very much to them.
Some of the blood on the floor does belong to me. Sadly, I lack the healing magics of other of my kind. All I have to do is lick my wounds.
If you're willing to have medical instruments near you, Edwin over there can heal you up if you need it.
The dragon like sneers at Edwin for a bit.
Edwin will reply in Draconic. My colleague Owl of... I'm gonna go out on a limb here, but say... Owl's turned into a yellow dragon before, right? We know her type.
Yes.
I will say... I work as a vassal of the Yellow-Blooded. I am her healer. If you wish, I will approach you.
Have the Drakeling do it.
I will turn to Owl, because I know Owl speaks Draconic, and bow.
Did you say bow to me or have the Drake do it?
The dragon said, "Have the Drakeling do it," so she's referring to Owl.
And I'm almost not pretending, but I'm giving the impression that you are in charge. So I'm bowing to you to say, if you say I'll do it, I'll do it.
Well, I offered your services already, and Virasart didn't seem very keen to have it, and seems to appear to have their own way of healing themselves. So if Virasart would like it, then she'll say so. Otherwise, I think it's no needed.
That's the complete opposite of what she said.
That is not what I heard.
Virsarth doesn't have the same healing abilities as her kin. All she can do is lick her wounds.
Oh,
And she doesn't trust Edwin to heal her, so she's asking Owl to do it instead.
I have no way of capable healing you. If I
Healing
could heal you, I
belt.
would.
If my lady would direct my
I haven't got a
hands...
healing belt, unless Edwin gives me the healing belt.
There's
I
curing
will-
belts in the party.
I will give you the curing belt. I would say to Owl, if my lady would direct my hands, I can assist a creature of such noble lineage. Yeah, and I'll kind of give you the eyes of, you know, if you want me to do actual surgery, I'll do it, but you need to basically help me.
Let's use the belt first, and we'll go from there.
Of course, my liege. And I will give you my healing belt.
Al is most certainly tilting her head up as Edwin's saying liege. She just quite pridefully strides towards. Right, Virasarth, are you ready?
Commence.
It's 1d6 plus 1?
1d6 plus 3.
3. I'll use all of the 3 charges.
Alright.
How's that?
I hate to be like the guy, but I have. No, we have rested, so we're all good. That's a very good roll.
I sense no unsettledness in this. Though I would prefer not to see the suffrage of that Hume in their lack of servitude to you. It is feigned, disgusting.
Who? Edwin? He's not that bad.
I shall thank you for your aid. Though not everyone on the road would do such without return. Is there something you wish of me?
I will turn back to the party. Thanks for helping out Varsith. She's willing to give us some sort of aid. Is there anything we dire need? Any information you guys might want?
If I can hear her saying, well, the dragon saying that feigned is being fake and disgusting, I'm just gonna stand there. No, Al, thank you.
Drazenka? Zirin?
Nothing for myself, thank you.
Likewise. Happy that we could be of aid.
I tell you what, if she knows about the Naga, great, but I'm just trying to help. Does she know about Yoshkaik? Is it Yoshkaik?
Yoskike.
Yeah, Yoshkaik.
I will repeat. Do you happen to know anything about this?
The Naga that attacked me did mention or demand my services towards one called Yaskike. When I declined, they deemed it worthy to get it through force. But now they are just scraps.
You don't happen to know where it is?
If they do have one amongst them called Yaskike and they are given commands, they should be amongst the rivers and waterways. I'm doubtful they would be within the ocean. Giver and Tenth should have dealt with them if so, unless they are of the lazy kind.
Well, that is some valuable information that I'm sure the smarty brains behind me will put into place.
Does the dragon still look injured?
It doesn't seem so.
Alright, I will not do anything then.
Well, thank you, Varsith.
Was that exchange in Draconic, or did Al already tell us what she's answered?
Al will turn around to you and tell you what the answer was, in case there's any other further questions.
Pardon my additional query, but what kind of service did the Naga require of you?
They asked that I remove some magical barriers being placed across the riversides. Outside of that, they apparently heard tell of the magics that yellow dragons hold, and asked that I give them a more permanent solution to their environmental needs. Apparently, they saw some kinship with another one that has scales.
If Al's translating this, that's fine. If not, I will.
Drazenka asked it in common, so the dragon replied in common.
Oh, fair enough.
And like, she already spoke common with Sayron.
That's true.
It's just you two who keep talking to her in Draconic, which is fair.
Yeah, I think it's more just a respect thing, but she doesn't really care about that, it seems. Must have been powerful to assault you in such a forward manner.
Not overly. It was quantity over quality. If I was not upon a pilgrimage, I might have listened to some more of their questions. But even so, they were demands. They would have been snacks, probably so.
Pilgrimage? Are you going southeast then? Or southwest, sorry?
Eventually. I am going on a pilgrimage to see all of the other dragon sanctums. The next course will be a Givren 10th, at which point I will be inquiring about why they allow the Naga to move such. After meeting with them, it should be on next to Kathura.
Anyone else can jump in if they want to, or just Edward would just ask.
When you get to Carthura, would you let him know that you saw us? He's our patron.
Edmund's gonna look at Zaire and like,
Zyron, roll me diplomacy.
Really? So you are not just wealthy travelers. You are bestowed.
Yeah, and I'll very carefully take out my S-Doc and say, yeah, he blessed this for me.
I saw the glint of adamantine amongst you. It seems my appraisal was off.
That's okay.
If I remember, I shall pass on word to Kathura that I met Sayeren on the road.
Much appreciated. We do keep in as regular contact with them as we can. I just sent a letter to him like a week ago, maybe? I don't know. Time's weird.
I shall have to inquire if it is normally a dragon's duty to have champions sent out.
Maybe.
I was
Anyways.
hoping to have my pilgrimage complete before the Dragon's Hold. But if these Nagas impeding me, it'll be a timely constraint.
Alright then. Well, we don't want to keep you for too long, so unless you need anything else from us, I think we better be on our way.
If there are no other questions, I'm not holding you.
Alright, you have a wonderful trip.
And I hope to maybe meet again sometime. I will sort of like bow.
Wish for all the best for your pilgrimage.
The same to you, child of Shiva.
The dragon moves off and starts to climb up the wall of rocks before they start to fly in the air and go northwards.
Is that not on the opposite direction that we were going to? Or are they going to the Ocean Dragon's domain first? Or the River Dragon, sorry. To the, like, northwest.
They said the next stop on their pilgrimage is to give Ren 10th. I can point you to the map if you're done on this one.
Think so, unless someone else has anything they want to do here.
Unless there's anything
Okay.
magical left over from the
Wait,
remains.
there
of
is something I
bodies.
want to ask. Did they get hammerhead sharks in this bitch? What happened here?
Those are variants of Naga. Sadly, there's only so many fish things I can have as as skeletons.
It's fine. I was just like, Jesus Christ, that's a while away.
We could, yeah, scout the corpses and pick whatever hasn't already been picked clean from them.
You can certainly do so. Are you using detect magic to do so as well, or not?
Yeah, with
Sure.
detect magic.
All right. Whilst the corpses have been torn apart, most likely by the Asaf, a lot of their gear has been destroyed, but there is one ring amongst the pool of blood that hasn't been destroyed.
Edwin really wants to know what everything is.
Let me see.
It is a ring of protection +1.
I will pass that off to whoever wants it. I will explain what it is, though.
I'm pretty sure I had one of those on my list.
You did?
Did anybody else?
I didn't.
Oh, it looks like Drezenka also had one.
Yeah.
Roll it, roll it.
Does Drazenka have any spells or limit breaks that give deflection?
I will double check.
Shieldra? Or shield?
Wind armor does.
Shield is shield.
Yeah, wind armor is deflection, though.
Yes, just know it doesn't stack with that. Deflections don't stack.
Like Zyron, I swear you have a way of getting deflection from just being a fencer.
Not that I know
You have
of.
wind armor, but it's the only one I have. Or
was gonna
deflection,
say.
I think.
Either way, it's without a spell, so it's between two of you.
Your elaborate parry is deflection bonus, Sarian.
Is it?
I do also have protect from my domain spell.
Yeah. You both have ways of getting it.
You're a normal fencer, yeah?
Quartzer. I don't think I get that.
What's maybe not. No, you do not get elaborate parry.
Yeah, that's not something I get, so yeah.
So you don't get deflection from your class abilities, it would just be down to a technique or anything. Which doesn't list deflection, so unless you have something else outside your class, you don't get deflection.
Yeah, I don't think I do. I'm ready to roll for it.
That was the suggestion, by the way. You don't have to do it. Like, if you guys want to decide.
I'm ready to either roll for it or just take it if she doesn't want it anymore.
Let's go for a roll. We usually roll for these things.
Not great.
I thought you were going to do a D2, but sure.
I thought we were. Oh my god!
Rerolls, bitches.
All right. That's a little better.
Ooh.
There we go.
Wonderful. Okay. I'll add that to my sheet then. Thank you.
Are you cleaning it before putting it on? Because it is covered in blood.
Absolutely. Do you not remember how tidy Zahirin is?
I don't know. You might have the excitement of something magically new that just puts you out of your normal rhythm. Anything else you want to do on this map before I pull you to the world map?
Very quickly, can I ask Al something? It's not going to take long. If that's all right.
Yeah.
Al, you good for a question?
Yeah.
Are all yellow dragons of that temperament? I just wanted to seem subservient because they are, by definition, tyrannical. Evidently not that one. I apologize.
It's alright. Don't have to apologize to me.
What I need to ask is, to want of a better word, I've been putting you back together for a while now. Your connection to draconic kind is much closer than most Greer. Do you know why?
Nope. Not a clue. I just followed my dad's footsteps. He could turn into a dragon, so I wanted to. And he taught me how. Get in more of my feral side.
Fine. Sorry, I just... Many sea dragons as gods here. And frankly, the older ones are close enough to them that they should effectively be one. If you get older and more powerful, you might function like one.
Possibly. But mother and father always taught me to be super respectful to other drakes.
Exactly, and that's what I'm asking. Whoever taught you this isn't like dragons are. Well, Carthor is different. Carthor has a different mindset.
He just likes his coffee.
He does, and I don't mean to be rude here, but yellow drakes are not seen, or dragons, sorry, are not typically seen the way you are. Free loving and carefree, frankly. That's all.
Less lovey. More carefree.
Understood. Sorry, Al. I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page.
By all means.
Also, dragons are an uncommon sight. Just means they're not rare. Like, if you live your entire lifespan, it's a good chance you've seen one or two.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's just a case of I thought yellows were typically because we've acknowledged dragons before. I thought yellows were typically lawful evil. Is that right?
You did acknowledge him. I know you did, but you.
Did we?
Yeah, you knew it was a yellow dragon, but you didn't just ask any traits.
Ignore that then. That's fine. But would we know that? Like,
I mean,
It's
you
kind of
typically know. You typically know the scale of things. Yellow dragons are typically towards neutral evil, but they're more about themselves, I suppose.
Okay.
Since there aren't really yellow dragons Pathfinder, it's gold.
Yeah, but in FFd, they're yellow, aren't they? But
There's more colors in FFd because there's more elements.
yeah. No, that's fine. Just gonna ask how. Actually, says because that interaction, on top of the Drazenka interaction earlier, was very out of character. I'm trying to just gauge. That's all.
I mean, she was also attacked by poachers in Naga not too long ago. Probably a bit testy.
No, I mean like Owl's reaction to a new creature.
Oh yeah, Al did speak more hardly anywhere near to where she should have done, but just as preoccupied with people as him.
Always getting interrupted.
It's more like, sorry, I'm not trying to. I don't want to take up more time than it needs to be. Owl's type, like, does Owl seem like a? Because you said that dragon was from the west, right? That style of dragon, the kind of serpentine style, rather than the sort of traditional European style of bipedal,
Mhm.
you know, 4 arms, 4 legs, that kind of like squat body, rather than serpentine. So in this
Yeah,
world,
Owl
they
is more
Western. But Owl is more like Eastern, if that makes sense.
Owl's
from
more
here.
of an Eastern.
So I was just wondering why they cared that much. Like, even though they're yellow, they're not of the same type, and that's not like a.
Mm.
It was just curiosity, if anything.
It's
But
more
that's-
just drakes in general. Like, unless it's a very hostile drake, then obviously she has to be very
No,
aggressive
you didn't have
towards
to.
it.
I was gonna say, you don't have to tell me. Like, it's. You pretty much answered it from that interaction. Everyone's just confused because you acted very out of character. In a good way, because
Yeah.
that's the interaction. But I was just like, what?
That's why I said earlier that it would be very out of character for you guys from how ours normally behaving.
Yeah, I expect you to like Edwin as a person is just expecting you to fully, if she was talking like that, just headbutt them. But you just went nope. But it worked
Most
out.
things she would headbutt, yeah.
I mean, Al mostly went to Hadderwood to test her skill against Kalthura, didn't she?
Pretty much.
And then you just see a weaker dragon. You're like, hey, let's not fight.
Not yet.
But yeah, sorry, took up too much time with that.
All right. From what Veerstaff was saying, her next stop on her pilgrimage is towards Givran Tent's domain, which is to the west here.
Oh, that
To the
threw
east.
me.
Sorry, not west.
Yeah, because I thought you said north, west. I
Yeah,
thought it was.
She
the other
climbed the
side.
mountain and flew to the north.
Fair enough. Okay, that makes sense. Do we know much
then-
about them? Because they kind of turned up on the map a bit later on.
Givran Tent?
Yes.
Do you know much about them?
Yeah, have we actually heard about them all? It's entirely possible we haven't.
If it's on the map, you know it's there. But also, the dragons that are on the map are mostly not exactly common knowledge, but anyone who is a cartographer or goes into dragons would know about them. You would know like some smatterings about Givran Tenth. They are mostly just to protect that part of the continent away from ocean-based creatures. And they are a guardian, so they're not tyrannical or anything. They are similar to Kalthura, but a bit more reclusive. Like they don't show themselves and go to Moss Plains as much as Kalthura would.
No, that's fine. Good to know.
Is the party doing anything before they go to sleep?
Nope. But I will make sure to return Edwin's curing belt.
Thank you, Al. I frankly fucked that up, didn't I? Please it worked out for you.
Uh-huh. Just take it and go to sleep.
Drozenka's gonna try to make dinner again.
Can you do me a favor, Al?
What?
Can you or you and say her and talk to Drozenka, please? I'm not. You know what I'm like. I'm not good at talking to people about how things have gone. I'm not wise. I'm not charismatic. I'm good at stitching you back together. I can't stitch back your feelings.
What? You're talking about the fact that Drozenka's not wearing her necklace?
Edwin slaps himself in the forehead again. Yes, I'm talking about the fact that, because I'm assuming that Drozenka is probably like 5 foot from where we're talking about.
She seems very preoccupied, so
Yes, that.
Hmm.
In the years I've known her, I've never seen her do that.
Okay. I'll talk to her after I get some food. I'm gonna go and scavenge another deer. Back in a little while.
I'm assuming you're all gone by that point.
Yep.
Right. Right, okay. And I'll just kind of sit down.
What do I find this time, God?
As you are hunting around, you're able to find yourself a family of hares. No one gets left behind.
Is that a Watership Down reference? Because my heart hurt.
It's a reference to something. I can't remember the name.
I'm thinking a reference from Lilo and Stitch. Ohana means
It
family.
It's
doesn't
not
make
that.
sense. But I could have sworn the whole point of Watership Down is like they're running away.
So yeah, I'll walk up to Drozenka holding up this family of hares. I found dinner.
oh, well done. That should save up on our rations for tonight.
Yep. So, you
Yeah.
gotta tell me why you're wearing your fancy shiny amulet anymore? Never seen you without it.
She, like, again, there's like, she's reaching out for the hairs and just kind of freezes for a
After
moment.
staring directly into her eyes.
Yeah, it's just like, why? Why? Why?
Right, well, it took a bit of a hit down in the tunnels the day before. And I don't want to risk it breaking any further.
So, what? You gonna get it fixed, or still got it?
Yes, I plan on getting it fixed, I just cannot do it myself.
Okay. Just, I watch everyone. I'm not much of a talker. You just didn't seem to be your normal self. Just didn't know if it had anything to do with it.
My apologies if I've been acting distant. It's just what happened down there. I'm still processing something. I will be alright.
Edwin had 2 instruments he could have used. He went with the baseball bat.
Yeah, I realized I should have gone with the chisel when I was like, okay, hammer, go, be free. It was just because I didn't know what Zayn was doing. I'm sorry.
Alright, sister. Well, I'll back you up if you need it.
I appreciate that, Ao.
I will go and walk off, maybe climb up a tree and just sit down.
Edward's just looking at her like, what the fuck was that?
Al would just Al would just look at Edwin and just give him a thumbs up.
He's kind of got his arms out and just goes, throws them up.
If you're both bothering to keep like looking at Drasenka once Al walks off, she's still just kind of standing there and just kind of reaches for her neck fluff where the necklace usually is and just stands for like a couple of seconds before she turns around and keeps preparing the dinner.
I don't mean to make this comedic. I really don't. But is that a perception check first before we do anything else?
Yeah, that was.
That's up to you. She's like, that's up to you. Like, are you looking at Al when she walks off, or are you looking at Drasenka when Al walks off?
Admittedly, I was
Okay,
looking at
that
Al.
makes so much sense that Al doesn't see that.
Be
But like,
honest.
she's like in the middle of the camp when she had that talk when she's preparing this, like in our fireplace in the camp. So she's like very in plain view. She's not really hiding her movements or her existence, so depends where you're looking at. If you have decent perception, she's not hiding it.
Zaire has no idea what's going on, but he gives Drasenka a hug and then walks away.
Thank you, Zaire.
Just walks up, hug, doesn't say a word, just walks away again.
Drasenka hardly returns a hug. She likes hugs.
Fair enough.
I forgot Zaire's not that short. I was gonna say he just like only comes up to your thigh, but no, he's taller than that.
You're like mid pectoral at this point because I think all of us are shorter than Drasenka.
Yeah, we're all
He's very
shorter
tall.
than Drasenka, but like, you know, Al would be like heads at the hip level. So Zair's a little bit taller than that.
Drasenka's very tall because I will not have my ladies otherwise.
I was gonna say, the last two ladies you played have been over 6'4".
I mean, you can make them that tall, why wouldn't I?
It's true. I would say though, from personal experience, door frames not your friend.
Drasenka probably knows.
Whenever I go to restaurants that are like old, I always have to duck under the frames.
Like me, I live near Warwick, and I'm not joking. I have to matrix dodge just to most doorways. It's nuts. After, again, not going to take even too much time with this, but if you guys don't mind, if not, we can crack on just before we do anything.
That's fine. I was just gonna say I haven't seen you update the little tracker there that you had.
Huh?
Track him.
The tracker for the points.
I think Drasenka has the tracker.
I'm not touching their competition.
What?
Yeah,
Tracking?
that was
Are we talking
that was-
about our points?
Yeah.
I've got them.
I was going to say, I think it's not me. Al has them technically.
Oh, I thought you had your own separate one.
I
that
do,
you-
but Al's writing them down. I'm just checking if they're right. I'm just crossing, like, I'm just making a separate record. I will say, because I don't have any active like notes, I can do that if you want.
No, that's fine. I've been keeping my own tally too, just the numbers, but
I'm just gonna say to Drasenka, as I can tell, she's like, we've known each other long enough, and maybe I'm wrong here, but from what we spoke about before, we know each other long enough to know, like, all of us can know something's different. It's not a special thing, I don't think, particularly.
Yeah, I'm gonna like say it's pretty obvious that she's not really her usual self. She's trying, but she's not there. She's very much in her own head. more than usual.
I'll keep this short and sweet, because I realise I'm not good at this. Drzenka, do you want to talk about what happened or no?
Did you see what happened?
Not with any real detail, I'll be honest. But I did notice that after the fact you weren't wearing the necklace. And I think they both know also, but they love you in a way that is nice, frankly. They want you to feel better. I get the impression you don't want to feel better, Drzenka. So why is that?
She thinks for a moment and then reaches for her back and carefully takes out the little bundle that she made for the necklace and opens it up and shows you the very much cracked over necklace. And that creature hit me with the lightning. I don't think I would have survived that hit. If it wasn't for her.
Edward just looks quiet for a minute and just says, so you're sad because your faith has been affirmed? You would have died if not for your god, Shiva. Yes?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say sad, it's just something to process, to realize my own mortality. I always knew she was with me, and so she will always be with me. But to realize how I was unable to do anything against that creature without her, just something I need a little time to come to terms with.
Do you remember the sermons? Back in Hatterwood, I mean. The first, it was always the first week of winter. And do you remember the opening few lines? About how ice forms but thaws, and the moisture of that ice will seep into the soil and allow for a new spring. Without that moisture, we don't get the spring. Darkness does not turn to light without it. Do you remember that? I mean, you were there. I'm assuming you do.
Look at you teaching me my own religion.
I remember the scripture. You remember what it means. All I'm saying is this cracking isn't... Well, you know what? I can't tell you what your faith is like, because I don't follow it. And he'll sort of get up. It's down to you at the end of the day. Siren gave you a hug, it's warmth. Owl gave you that plunge when you jump into ice water. It's hard, but it's true. I think she would like that. I'm just trying to make sense of it. Good night,
Perhaps it's
Drzenka.
about accepting that there is no making sense of it. There is only accepting it.
Maybe.
Thank you, Edwin.
Don't thank me, thank them.
You as well.
I'm an academic autistic with the ability to stitch you back together. I can't fix what happens up here. And I'll point at my head. Right, I'm going to sleep. I have notes to write. Take care.
Good night, Edwin.
Oh, and by the way, we can probably get that fixed if you want to.
I know, I was planning on looking in Atelian for someone to help fix it. I might need some funds from the carriage, however, for that.
Oh, I can work that out. Ow, why are you 40 feet up a tree? What is up there? How did you even get up there?
Birds.
Think
I
of
climbed.
birds. Why are all of you incredibly exceptional? Right, okay, I'm going to bed. If I'm going to keep up with a lot of you, I need to do a lot more research. Good night. And I'm just going to walk off and try and figure out how to keep up.
Anything else happening before you go to sleep?
No, I've taken up enough time.
Alrighty. The day will pass into the next with no issue.
I would ask, does Drzenka even... I'm not gonna say this is like the quick fix. It's not like you just slap some... you don't slap Gorilla Glue on it and Drzenka's fine, but... Ow, and Drzenka, to be fair, because... I mean, even Zairin, I would ask, like, what do you guys seem like? Because it was 2 days ago that we killed Zairin's old... not accomplice, but, you know,
It was
associate.
more than 2 days.
It was a
No,
little
it's-
more than that.
Was it like a week? Give
That's
or take?
closer.
Yeah, a week. But still. It's not that long ago. What do you guys like?
Zairin's happy-go-lucky now. He's fine.
What do you mean? What do you guys like?
Well, I mean, this is the first time we've experienced Owl.
Out of character.
Yeah, that's the best way I can put it. It's... You acted very differently there. And you made it, like... It's not even you made a point of it, but it's very out of what you're normally doing. And I'm just curious. You could just say nothing.
And Al continues to say nothing.
That was me saying
Sweet.
nothing. You told me to say nothing. I said nothing.
I said you could say nothing, not don't say nothing. Motherfucker.
You could, but please don't.
Yeah.
Options there.
Well, it's not uncommon knowledge that you know that Al wanted to challenge Karthura and now is under the mission of Karthura. But as she said, her parents taught her to be respectful to Drakes. However, it doesn't mean she's still not afraid to pick a fight when she wants to.
Okay.
But she's not going to pick a fight with one Drake that has clearly just been in a fight. She wants it to be a fair fight.
Fair enough. Yeah, sorry. I might be waffling here, so do cut me off if you're Napal's, but I'm just trying to figure out what he's like, because we've been traveling for a while and a hell of a lot's gone on. So, I mean, what's Drzenka like after that?
I mean, she is much closer to her usual self, much more like chipper and happy and just talkative. Not necessarily 100%, but much closer to it. She does keep like reaching towards her neck and just kind of not quite flinching, but almost when she realizes that the necklace isn't there yet.
As
But she's closer to her usual self. Usual self.
as Zaren's driving the cart, he's just talking about all kinds of different things that he sees and notices. He doesn't really notice the specifics of Drazenka not being quite herself, but he notices that he just feels that there's something wrong. So he's just trying to help out in any way he can by talking about completely random, useless things in his typical happy, bubbly personality.
Drazen gets happily chatting along. Pretty much only because you guys know her so well and for so long, you can realize that she's not quite full on herself, but if anyone else were to see her, they would be like, oh yeah, she's fine.
How is Edwin doing? Seeing as how he's going all psychobabble on the rest of us.
As well as several steps that affirmed deific power.
Good talk, Edwin.
Mm-hmm.
I am so
He's just
sorry
staring
about
at his book.
No, sorry, all the way. What happened?
I was saying, we're all trying to keep each other happy, but then I'm like, hey, how is Edwin doing after all of this other stuff and going all psycho babble on the rest of us? And then Napaz was talking about several deity reaffirming things happening around you. How is Edwin doing? Does he seem okay?
Good question. In all fairness, when he asks these questions, it's like he's reading a book and reading the lines. He doesn't understand the nuance of it. It's like, when someone reads something and they don't know what it means. And to be fair to Edwin, he doesn't have the charisma to pull that across either. He's just kind of going through the motions is the best way I can put it. Kind of blank, kind of not robotic, but he's trying to put feeling into it. He just doesn't have the capacity for it. To answer the question, though, Edwin will say to you, Zaire, sometimes it's hard to put your friends back together. That's all. I know what your intestines look like. Did you know that?
Not really, but at least if you've seen them, you can put them back the way they were, maybe.
Exactly. That's why I spend so much time on the nights researching your biology. You don't share the same paths as I do. Ow. Drazenka, you don't have the same physiology, so I have to make sure I do it right.
And we all appreciate that, Edwin.
I know
If
you
you
do. I don't. Sorry, go on.
Oh, no, that's fine. If you ever need to talk to anybody or anything like that, we're all here for you, too. Sorry, I had food in my mouth when I was saying Edwin.
I know.
If there's anything we can do to help you feel better, feel free to ask for it. Would you like a hug?
No, thank you, but the offer is appreciated, Sarah.
You're welcome. I know you're not as fond of physical touch as the rest of us, but, sometimes people go outside of their norm. I know that Drazenka, if she's not feeling well, she could just use a hug. No questions asked. You, on the other hand, asking is definitely the way to go.
Edwin will open his arms out and say, okay, so how does this work? exactly? Do you put your arms around? How does it work?
Zaire just comes up and gives him the biggest, warmest hug that he can manage at the moment.
Oh, this is nice. Do I put my arms around you now? Are they up, down, left?
Just relax. Get comfortable.
And I'll do my best. I'm just gonna look at like Al and Drazenka and try. Just basically, I want the hug. It's nice. Like Edwin's very happy with this, but just wants to make sure they're good. As I'm sure Zaire does.
After about 10 or 15 seconds, and Edwin is still somewhat stiff, I'm sure, but more relaxed than he has been, I'll let go.
It's more like an amateur chokehold, if anything. Like, it's not. He doesn't apply pressure to you, but he's got his arms around, like, points of your body that are uncomfortable, but he's just holding. Like, he's not applying pressure, he's just holding.
Good enough for your first attempt that I know of.
Zaire, I must say, you're very fluffy.
I do keep my fur as clean as possible.
Excellent. Please teach me how to do that in future. I feel like that would be beneficial.
Sure. Anytime.
Yeah, sorry for waylaying that, but
Zarin will pointedly ask, does anybody else need a hug?
I'm almost happy for one if you're offering.
Yeah, okay. And then I'll give you a hug too.
Drazenka never says no to a hug.
I was losing the competition on hugs.
Al doesn't like hugs. It's no competition.
Zarin just didn't want anybody to feel left out, so he made the offer available.
And Al will quite kindly not even acknowledge your offer.
As expected.
What is the party's next destination?
Italian, maybe?
we agreed in Italian.
Yep.
Near a road network.
It is the most direct route from here. And it's far away from any rivers as far as I can see.
Indeed, and we did promise to send messages there. Suggest we go in that direction.
All right. Making your way to Natalian, everyone will feel every so often, as even though Zaire is a good driver, there's only so much he can do with the roads as how they are. As the carriage goes down a few, you could say, potholes here and there. The road is almost littered with holes from large, just like, not exactly hooves, but legs made of not a humanoid's foot. Going both to the south, as far as you can see, possibly going off to the east, and most likely to the north as well. Coming up to the gates, they are very tall and very sheenly coated. Though as far as you can tell, they are all made of wood. They're most likely magically treated. And everyone can roll perception. Zairin, possibly not too fond or interested in golems, is unable to really notice it, but everyone else will notice the golem guards that are guarding the entrances They are just normal wooden golems. However, you three in particular can tell that they have been freshly made. And if they have not been freshly made, they have been recently cleaned and repaired. But to the point where they look like factory new.
New.
Zyron will put his golem bane scarab, hide it away.
One of the wooden golems will walk in front of the carriage and hold out a splintered hand.
One moment, please. You have hunted Nagas, correct?
Yes, sir.
The golem walks to the side and peers through the glass window that looks into the actual cab of the carriage. Then he moves back to the drivers and speaks over to Zyron.
You are allowed to enter.
Thank you. Have a good day.
The golem stomps back over to his post.
How would you mind doing the whole thing where you tap on the roof and ask for the driver's attention? Like a noble lady, you know, in the books you don't read. Yes, do that.
You want the driver's attention? And she'll like stamp her foot really hard onto the floor.
No, you're supposed to to sit there, okay?
The whole carriage screeches to a stop as I pull on the handbrake.
Oh, this has gone horribly wrong.
You wanted the driver's attention.
Oh, yes,
The golem comes back.
Have you stalled your chocobos?
No,
Edwin's
someone
just
inside is pounding. I'll go around to the side and open the door.
The golem reaches over and points to where your feet are.
There's the clutch.
It then walks away.
Edwin's head up. I'm sorry, I tried to do a thing. Ignore me. It's my fault.
Everything's okay?
Yes, it's fine. No, that was on me. That was on me. That was on me. That was on me.
From what you're saying, I am assuming it's Al's fault, and then I'll start the chocobos back up again.
I will go in and say, do you know what? That time, it really wasn't.
Just stick
I'll
her head
pop
out
my
the
head
window and be
back
like, it was not my fault.
It really wasn't. That was on me.
As much as you guys are denying it, I still will assume that it was Al's fault.
Is there like a window, like on the back of the driver's head, so you can open it and just poke the back of his head?
No. The glass windows can't be opened.
Can
Step
I
2.
use the edge
Get
of
it.
my axe to like drill a hole into the wood and poke Zero in its head?
The edge of my fucking 4-foot axe.
It would be a quite big hole because you do have a two-handed axe.
Now we can buy a carriage that has that, please. Please.
We can buy a carriage that has a poke hole? Sold.
Yes, we have it. It slides. There's a slider.
Now you're talking.
Is there something you want to talk about now, or
No, keep going.
As the party enters into Natalian, we will end the session there.
Alright, have fun. Goodbye, Jesse. You have to go right away, don't you?
I do. So I will catch you all later.
We'll get to see you next